Welcome back, everybody, to Combine Season 13. We're back. We're better than ever on CS2. I am Nexus, and today my co-caster is going to be Starly, who is new to the casting scene, and of course, our lovely observer is going to be Dr. Freeman. So say what's up, Starly.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Haven't been popped yet. They usually start around 9 p.m. EST. But before that, we want to tell you guys what Combine is.
Yeah, so the combine process throughout CSC is just a way for teams to scout talent, basically. We require all of our new players in this league to go through the combine process, should they join at the start of the season, in which they will play games against similarly ranked new players. Just a really, really good way to not only show off your skills in this league in a more coordinated but still somewhat huggy team environment, but also just to start building some relationships throughout the league. You'll find that a lot of organizations will send their own scouts, their own staff into these combines just to see how you play, how you interact with everyone else. And you'll see a lot of 10-mans pop up throughout the combine process as well. I don't know, Nexus, when you played back then, but last season, excuse me, when I was a draft eligible player, the combine process was one of the most fun periods for me in the season.
Yeah, I mean, combines, like you mentioned before, is just a glorified 10 mans. And as much as I dislike saying that, it's what it is. It is essentially just you get put into a team with a bunch of different people, and you get the GMs and the scouts get to see how you work in a team environment. Now, back then, combines were still just as fun. We used Faceit servers for the combines. There was only 2 tiers, and it was not as big or as professional as it is today. We didn't have these combine streams back then. But with the league growing so big and everything, we managed to kind of form little committees, and we got here to where we are now. But yeah, keep in mind, combines are just how to rank you. It's not whatever tier you're in at the moment is not going to be in your final tier at the end of combines. Your MMR will be fluid, which is not public to you guys, but to the admins and higher ups who have to deal with those numbers. And you will constantly be changing between different tiers. So if you have any questions about that, you can go into the help section in the Discord chat or in the Discord server, discord.gg/csc if you don't know. And you can just ask anyone there. Any of the admins, mods, or even the players and people who are, have been in the league for a long time are more than willing to help and answer your questions. So please feel free to ask, and who knows, maybe you can make some good friends with a couple of GMs.
Yeah, definitely. I will say that this combine period was again just a really, really good way to meet the people you're going to either be playing with or playing against in your tier, and also um, just again to build those relationships. You don't know who your future teammates might be, who your future adversaries might be. But at the same time, this we're still playing a video game. We're still trying to have some fun here, and I think the combine period is just the perfect example of, we're in a bit more of a slightly more organized, way of play. Everyone's guaranteed to have at least a microphone here, in these combines. Can't say the same about that in Faceit or Premiere, but still that kind of puggy style that you mentioned before. I think right now we're just waiting for some games to pop throughout the queue system, but once that goes, I think we'll be ready to start streaming.
For sure. And just a quick note there. You might find that the combine channels usually have 5 slots available, meaning only 5 players can enter your designated um, voice chat. However, there are scouts. There are scouts that are able to come into the channel and just listen in. Those are going to be either scouts, captains, or even GMs, and you can just find out afterwards by looking at their profile or seeing how they are. Um, but they're just there to see how you calm, how you play, and just how things go all around. And you know, I lost my train of thought. Yeah,
No,
essentially, just it, yeah, they just listen to comms and they just try to see how you are as a player. So try not to feel too nervous. I can assure you that some of these GMs and captains are just as silly and goofy as you are. Um, I know I had a couple of teammates tell me that when they first met me, I was very professional, very hey, we're hosting a practice, a tryouts. It's going to be organized. And then once we were on a team together, they saw just how ridiculous I can get. So keep things lighthearted for the combines, and hopefully we can get into some games soon. If you have anything else to add, Sarli, just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that lightheartedness, and again, I just want to emphasize this is a video game. You know, for CSC's regular season, it's 6 weeks long. It's a good period of time. You know, 2 games a week, and most teams will want to practice at at least once outside of those games. You're going to be playing a lot of CS with these guys that are going to be on your team, and I think I speak for a lot of organizations here when I say that team vibes are really like the main thing that a lot of people scout for in these combines. You know, within the tiers, because of the work of the numbers committee, the skill level from say like the bottom of a tier all the way to the top is not that extreme. Okay, there's still like room for skill expression within a tier or whatever, but the most important thing I think within any team is just how they gel together, and that's what the combines are for. Your GM, your captain, your scouts or whatever, they can pour over your leadify page, they can pour over your face it pugs all they want. But if you're a great person that doesn't show up on your leadify page, there's no handshakes per game metric on leadify, there's no let's go boys per metric on face it or whatever. And so that's really the important thing that a lot of GMs are going to be looking for. It's a 6 week season. It's a lot of CS you're going to be playing. You know, most people are going to want a good team environment, and that's what the combine process also kind of shows off.
Mhm. It definitely does. Anyone can be a superstar fragger. I know a former captain of mine has told me I'd rather pick up someone who has a good vibe and knows how to play the game than someone who can just aim their way through the tier. Because anyone can, like I said before, anyone can be a superstar fragger. Anyone can do the aim training and the angle clears, but it takes a lot longer for you to become a good teammate, right? It takes just a little bit extra time to be nice to your teammates and to just be a player that people want to be around. And as
Yeah,
you mentioned, Charlie, it's all about the attitude that doesn't show up on your Faceit stats or your Leadify page, and that's what the comms are there for. Now, obviously, some I mentioned tryouts and practices that I used to do. Um, a lot of teams will have their designated captains for their tiers, host up 10 mans, tryouts, private practices, and get you in a more private environment to see how you are and how you mesh with their team. And moving over to the draft, we have 4 keepers, and obviously we'll go into more detail about that during the draft. But in essence, it's you're only allowed to keep 4 players, and even then you're not guaranteed a spot on the team. And there's gonna be more about that throughout the draft, which I believe is in a couple of weeks. Sorry if you can correct that on me. But
I
other than
I
that,
have to admit I've been slacking on the schedule, Nexus.
well, I mean, the schedule just recently started coming out soon. First night of combines. There's still a lot of things in motion. Things are still subject to change. So a huge shout out to our newly elected admin team, which I'm not going to name by heart because there's a lot of names here. I forgot who they are, and you know just a big shout out to them and to just all the people within the subcommittees trying to help and run this league. Because it's all volunteer. We're not paid. We're doing this out of the kindness of our hearts and our love of Counter Strike. Even though CS2 may be a little bit goofy sometimes, but we still love the game.
Yeah, goofy is certainly one way to put it, but despite all that, I think there is something kind of special about the first night of combines, right? We've spent the last month, month and a half basically in the off season. Um, a lot of results kind of played out throughout that regular season. Um, and we'll again throughout our weekly content, we'll go through more about how last season played out versus how we expect this season to play out, who's going to probably be a keeper, who's not, you know, and all that. But I think more importantly, out of everything, I think a lot of people are just excited to play some CS, even if it's two, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the off season was pretty long, pretty length, or not as lengthy. Probably like a standard amount of time
yeah. Well,
before the season started. But yeah,
Nexus, we forgot to open with Happy New Year. It's the
oh,
first
that is
season of
correct.
2024.
The first season of 2024,
2024.
indeed. I mean, I didn't do much my New Year's Eve, but what about you, Charlie? How did you
Oh, I did.
celebrate New
I
Year's
did. I did absolutely nothing but get prepared for this casting assignment. I'll have you
Eve?
know. Nothing.
Mm,
Nothing but vocal exercises, nothing but studying every single map to try and figure out, all the call outs, all the strats. I locked myself in a basement watching Phases Nuke for 6 hours. So, I know last Combine season when I was playing, Nuke was not a popular map. So hopefully my 6 hours will not be in vain today. New batch of Ds, new batch of returning players. Hopefully that the wins shift on the map pool a little bit. Hopefully we see a little less Inferno. Okay, a little more everything else. But that's not for me to decide. What we're here to do is we're here to cast some good Counter Strike, and so hopefully we can do that soon.
But I definitely do see a couple of games popping up, but we're not sure which one is to be selected. So we're gonna cut to a break and see, talks amongst ourselves to see which game we should pick, and we'll catch you guys in the server. See you guys soon. All right, guys. So we have got a recruit game for you. I know I see you guys in chat. Triple Dog daring me to cast a recruit game. Now I don't want to be that guy. However, you didn't make me. We had to set it beforehand. But I'll let you think that. I don't believe I have the names up here. I believe if I can go real quick. I believe it is Deity, Kenny D, Rye, Clevie Wonder, and Iraq against Milky, Sinbad, Thalmies, Van Rishon. Mistakes or mispronunciation of these names. We have a master sheet that has not been put out yet, unfortunately, because Scraps has just been very busy. So no hate, just love here. And I got the names correct.
No need. Spoke way too soon. I
If
was
it's
gonna
not
say
Scott.
we have a good HUD. We have a good HUD made by good peeps, for all that stuff. Oh, spin. We're in the map ban / veto phase right now. So once these guys settle on a map to play, we'll get you right into the action on that. Nexus, I done. What are the expectations, I suppose, for a draft eligible player in these combines? We talked a little bit about what we kind of expect coming in from like an attitude standpoint, but like maybe we should talk a little bit about what's expected in game as well.
So in game, what GMs and captains and most importantly teammates will be looking for is, as we mentioned before, the vibes and how well you can shoot. But it's not everything that they should be doing. It's about how they maneuver around the map, how they move around, how they approach certain angles, how they approach just a general basis of these maps here. And that's mainly what these players are going to be looking for. Um, but they also want to just see just how you are as a person. Like obviously, like we mentioned before, and we're going to keep mentioning it, is the vibes. But anyone can put on a mask in front of a scout or in front of a GM or a captain. But these players, when they have to deal with the teammates and if they start berating them or start coming at them, that information will be passed around. These talk players amongst the tier, they will talk and they will speak to each other and they will give off their opinions on certain players, whether it's in private or whether it's public. And if that information reaches the captains and GMs, they're gonna put you on like on a maybe list where, hey, this person has some issues, but they can also shoot good, right? You don't want to be that guy that is put on the secretive list, the do not discuss list, as us captains used to say.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think a huge part of it also, and I'm gonna self-declare myself an IGL here, as someone who's going to enter the scouting process later, but also a huge part of it is just that leadership aspect. But it looks like we're here off for a pistol round.
Starting up here, we're on Anubis, and one of the recent maps to the competitive map pool, and it's a standard A rush, but two here on the A side, one towards Heaven, one towards Pillar, and hopefully they're ready to fight it out. Von Wishon kind of holding there, but now Thom is peeking off the first pick. First as Sinbad, that's the first, and they're just falling off here. This side has been lost. Rye is not going to be finding the bomb, but the retake is on, and no one's covering. Milky takes the first headshot, and the second, they deny the bomb play. Now it's up to Eva. who's left in a 1v4 situation. One on the flank, holding for it, doesn't get the shot, missing the head, and almost takes him out. But Milky with a triple kill in the round to deny the bomb plant and the round, picking up the first round up for Team Away.
Yeah, great heroics from Milky there to push through, recognizing that there's no smoke for cameras there, but there's a smoke for heaven. Rushed right through, nobody's covering cameras there, finds two, and really stops the T's dead in their track there. Even before it got to that point, the first T through that A main point peaked before the smoke in heaven popped. Those are just the kinds of things that you're going to want to see this team clean up as they continue to play together. Obviously, it's just their first round.
Definitely, and with no bomb plants down, they are forced to save here. Triple AG, but 5 AG coming up here, but Milky should be coming up someone. He gets one, does not get a second. XM does not ring true. That is here coming up with Thomix. They're playing a double A setup, and they're just running back here. It's a
Yeah,
3v4 situation, and they lost one gun. Hopefully, they can keep the economy up for Team Away, but hopefully, Team Home can close it out.
yeah. XM there, you'd expect it to rain death all over that mids position, but Milky seemed to have been caught off guard by literally the entire team just running straight at him with no fear. They've relinquished mid control here, but Sinbad's about to pick it back up as the T's regroup towards B, which is weak actually.
Definitely very weak here, Van. Please excuse my butchering of your name. But Vantage is in here backside towards Bricks and just triple peeking here. Spots one and Doxic with the HE gets dinked. Only down to 63 HP because the Glock is a pea shooter and Rye tagged very low as well. Now Sinbad coming up fast with the flank, takes out Kenny D. The low HP player is still alive here, and they're the last one left alive. There's no way Rye can win this, and Sinbad closes it out there. And a good push there by Sinbad. You know, Middle was, giving up, and Sinbad knew that they had to take some sort of space, and they took it well.
Yeah, something you're going to see since we've talked so much about Combines being really puggy is you're going to see a lot of solo queue behavior come out. The timings on your grenades might not be exact. Your rotates on CT might be too aggressive. There was a 15 or 20-second period after that mid kerfuffle where Van was the only player on B site, and if the T's had somehow been able to recognize that and ran straight at them, they might have gotten the bomb plant.
And on a full eco, a bomb plant is definitely what you're after. You want to get that money so that you can start building up an economy there. But they have the potential now through a weapon pool. You see an up on Thomix, and Vaughn is very low, tagged through the smoke. NAD poking in the middle, trying to take map control, and Sinbad very far up ahead, but is never punished and still remains towards up there. And Rise burning in the molly, tagged down to 22 HP, very, very low, and there's a big fight towards middle. That's E-Rock taking out the opposite. And Deity coming up with another kill onto Vaughn. Right. Far behind, smoking off Palace, and the bomb is on site now. Deity turning towards default. Another fast rotation coming in here. Thomix with that op, going in towards CT, and Milky in from Palace. Now the step was not heard. And Milky's just waiting out that smoke. Kenny D holding for that E-box push. Heard some steps. He's maybe waiting, ready for the push. He is. Kenny D takes out Sinbad. That's the flank down. Now it's left up to Milky and Thomix, who are looking like they want to save here. Thomix spotted and falls off, and the shot has not been shot. And they're just falling off here. Thomix picks up a kill onto Kenny D. There should be no time to go for this, so they definitely should be falling back here. And so it's the first round for Team Home off the back of some great entries onto that, towards that B site and that mid site, or that middle there. But Milky Thomix falling off.
Yeah, into canals. The B site players split up into one for B main and one for dark. And so when you split on like that, you're going to have to win your aim duels, and against the better weaponry of the AKs, you saw Van's MP9 not up to snuff on towards jail there. I think the CTs definitely could have gone for that retake. I saw a smoke and a molly on Thomix, so I thought there was a chance there, but that second kill in dark onto Sinbad really shut the door on any potential retake here. Now the CT's economy in an awkward spot.
Definitely very not as well as you want it to be. Only Doxic on an MP9, so it's still some good weaponry, but not as much utility. And as a CT, with the new meta, you have to be able to use this utility and take that punch and another aggressive push, but gets punished by Creepy Wonder with a two-way headshot. And that's Milky trying to take some space in the middle and canceled out by Kenny. Vaughn takes out the first onto E-Rock. A good trade back, but it's still a disadvantage for them. And Rye through the smoke tags Doxic up very, very low, who's playing close up to the smoke. That's exactly how you want to play with that MP9 here. But the bandit damage is still in the favor of Team Home. And so is the HP advantage. Vaughn and Doxic both very low. Only Creepy Wonder who's walking away with barely enough health, but Vaughn is taken out through the smoke. That now it's a 2v4. Both players stuck on opposite bomb sites, and they have to pick one. They have to gamble. They have to regroup and just play retake on the other, unless one of these players has an insane multi-frag potential. And Doxic gets taken out here. That's Rye taking out the B site anchor. And are they gonna push forward? Maybe baiting some noise there. And the A shade is coming in. They're splitting in through cams. Into a main. Thomix, knife out. Up. They get spotted. Misses the first shot. And now they know exactly what Thomix is. And they take him out. PV Wonder. A nice double kill in the round alongside Rye to close out that second round, for Team Home. And the economy is not looking good for Team Away.
No, it is not. And this aggression towards canals, towards stairs, I think needs to be backed up with a flashbang or something, because this home team is playing it really disciplined. They set up a crossfire right on the stairs with one person towards a main, one person watching the bridge drop, and it was a complete shooting gallery in the early half of the round for the T's there. They caught one person on a main and one person trying to help his friend on the bridge.
Oh, and the fast teammate push here. Teams are fully out. Beauty gets called out, but Rye is just holding. But that Sugun's lost. Another one's coming in. Takes one out and is falling back to the up. Saw more than and he's staying for the fight. Maybe they're getting a little bit too hungry for these kills here, but it's 2 AKs for Team Away. And I believe they're happy with that, taking those 2 AKs into the next round. When they have a full buy, saving them a little bit of cash there. And Kenny D, if he plays it just a little bit, if he played it just a little bit more reckless, he would have last that up and given it to the CTs, and it would have made this retake a lot more doable.
Yeah, definitely. And even if they don't go for that retake, the last thing you want to do is give that CT side an injection of $4,700 with the free op that they bought, And so I think that was an important show of restraint, for lack of a better term, on Kenny's part there. Well played there. Bomb will go off here. I don't think Sinbad's not going for it. So 2 AK saved, which is a great boon for the CT economy, but the economy is not how you win this game. You need to start stacking some rounds.
We're still very early on into that half here, just a one round difference. They're able to just, if they're able to reset and maintain the economy here, Milky just gets away. If they can manage to just stay calm and keep the ball rolling in their favor, they definitely have a good chance of winning out the half and possibly even the map.
But Milky is certainly a braver soul than me. Would you go for that mid-peak Nexus?
Listen, I've been told many times that I take fights that I shouldn't be taking, and by golly, I'll take that fight.
Oh, man.
But like Sinbad, like you mentioned, Sinbad was kind of poking to see maybe he can get something there, but unfortunately just wasn't given any sort of peaks there. And Kennedy eats an H, or 76 damage, and it's ready for the Milky Ridge peak and lands a nice headshot. Good flick upwards. Now left to Sinbad on this A side here. And Vaughn takes out Rye through a smoke. It's looking like there's a lot of kills through smoke here, and Deity trying to pick up the slack, but has the bomb. If they had pushed any further in that B main, the bomb would have been lost, and it would not have looked good for Team Home here.
Yeah, after Milky fell off there in mid, he took an aggressive position towards house, and that Molotov, I believe from E-Rock, really forced him out into the open, right into the waiting arms of Kenny's op. So that was a really good little piece of 1-2 coordination there from the T side in mid.
Yeah, Clevie Wonder slowly making their way towards this A side here, waiting for the teammates to come back. The utility to rain through, but overpeaks just a little bit as Sinbad hits a very good shot. Gets a second onto Deity. Molly forces him out. He's going for another fight and tags Kennedy up as Thomix picks up the kill, but E-Rock, an unknown thorn in their side, spots the first, but he spray. Now they know where he is. Thomix seems like he's dropping down here. Not ready, not knowing where he went. E-Rock takes the first kill. Now, E-Rock pulls out the nade. Does not land any damage on Thomix. Going for another repeat, and Thomix picks up the kill. An absolute mad lad play by E-Rock. Going for the fight over and over again. I wish I had this man's balls.
Certainly. And I think that was smart of E-Rock to find that timing in mid to try and lurk in, try and get that kill into heaven. Couldn't quite find it, but still well played from his part. You saw what they were trying to do with that kind of ace split, but it did feel like it was a little bit disconnected. You had a contact peak in front of any sort of utility or in front of any sort of trade before it happened, but Sinbad was holding down the fort, had none of that, with 2 headshots right there onto A main, so really well played by him.
Yeah, looking like a great player for this Combine. He's going to take us a first shot. And just misses that second shot here. And as I'm reading chat, Combines are best of ones. Rye picks up another kill onto Milky. A good trade back. Rye picking up the op here. And Sinbad going aggressive here, but not ready for Iraq, who just got past the point of vision from Sinbad. That's one player that you definitely do want to be best in here when it comes to fighting. Nice long range nice shot onto Deity and Doxic through the smoke. Through the edge of the smoke, excuse me, onto Cleavy Wonder. Iraq selling here. Molly towards Cam from the smoke towards Heaven. Thomix just waiting for any sounds to be made. Now Iraq entering onto the side here. Molly towards Fishtail. Doesn't look like it'll be stopping the bomb plant down, but they know where one is. And Bond going fast on that flank there. They're very far away, so this bomb plant will be going down. And Thomix just needs to stay alive here. Honey behind the smoke. And repeats the perfect time, and Thomix gets the first and does not get the second, but Iraq is very low and it's not ready for the flank. Toxic and Vaughn coming in behind them to close out the round here. Now, this is a back and forth game here, so we still have a very good game on our hands.
Yeah, I'm looking at the economy here on that T side. Kenny D is going to be in an awkward spot. I wonder if he's going to force around the rest of his team. He probably will. But great patience there by Thomix. There's no need to make a hero play in that 3v2 situation. Wait for the cavalry to arrive. Get your one. If the bomb goes down, so be it. You know, I thought that was great patience from him.
Definitely, and you know, it was one of the things that my former team, shout out Storm from Drip, would do. We would just give up a site and just play retake, and that's how we won most of our rounds. And sometimes that's kind of what you have to do. Not have to be the hero, but play the game how you're supposed to play. And looking like an A rush here. The Maxim is going out here, but Iraq falls off behind. Maybe the only one who knows utility, but a good trade here from Cleavy Wonder onto Sinbad. Now Vaughn, once again, these pushes from the CT are just super smart. You don't see this in case you see this in case at 5. You know, going for a fast play from behind as Thomix picks up a trade onto Rye, who takes out Milky. The smoke on Heaven is still up, but slowly dissipating as Doxic takes out one. The bomb plan is not going down. He sees across the shoulder and he picks it up. The bomb plan has been denied, and Iraq is now in pillar in a 1v2. This is the shot here, but Iraq lands a tag, and that H is going to do massive damage. Just barely misses the mark. Iraq has a smoke left to work with, and it's going to smoke off in front of him to let him cross. Now Thomix has to be worried of whether or not he'll be pushing up from pillar, and he's waiting for it. He's holding the angle. Iraq with that A1S. Pharaoh might be spotted. Takes out one. Iraq, is he going to be ready for him? Close right. He's not. He spotted the head. Iraq is about to come up huge here. Has very amount of HP to work with, and Thomix. This is how you lose rounds. So brave, and he takes a shot. I was assuming he was going for a knife, but my goodness, Iraq is coming up huge as well throughout this game.
Worry not, Nexus. Some of us are not good oppers in this league. Okay, that's the amount of time we need to line up a shot so we don't throw the round. Okay, don't worry about it. I thought the A rush was a brilliant call. Sinbad's been rushing you in A main. He's been fighting for that canals control. Try and overpower him and then get onto A site before that second player can make it into cameras to reinforce. The only problem with this is that they're not smoking cameras. The smoke into heaven is always there. There's a molly for that headshot angle as well, but this A take feels incomplete. It feels, you know, halved. Where's that second smoke for cameras in order to guarantee that?
Spamming through the smoke. There's a little bit of damage onto Cleavy, but nothing else for that. But Toxic, 2 great headshots onto Deity and Rye. That little pixel angle, that peek, and Sinbad, they're giving him so much space. He's such an aggressive rifler. He's ready for it. Doesn't go for the knife. Takes out Kenny D. That's that little player down. Now they have 4 balls. That's a Cleavy Wonder and Iraq. Scratch that. Just Iraq. Scratch that. None of them, as Sinbad and Milky take them both out to secure a 6th round and a very, you know, comforting lead for Team Away.
Yeah, that's a flawless round for the CTs, which they're always going to love. But, you know, 1 round away from getting rushed on A, what does Sinbad do? He pushes up into rugs on you. You know, I think the T's need to put a babysitter or something on him, because if you know, you don't watch this guy come out of A main, he's going to be in your spawn by this point. And we see this aggression from the CT side. They're confident. They're willing to stand and take their one. Some brilliant shooting out of B main there. And that semi-eco from the T's was shut down as soon as it started.
I want to see a little bit of more mobility on Thomix there. Thomix is playing a little bit of a predictable angle. Always towards heaven, always towards that camera's angle, and never going for an aggressive angle. Spotted over the smoke. Not as much damage. but the damage is given up to Toxic here. There's a lot of play out here. And now the rotates are coming in. They're baiting a lot of rotates, but they're not pushing. Oh, Milky through middle. They're holding for him. Milky has to get the first. He does, and cannot get the second as E-Rock and Cleavy Wonder take him out. And now they're
Hey,
on a stalemate.
hey, Nexus, mind if I ask you a question?
Yes, my dear.
Is the away team the T side on this one? Because why are they pushing everything on the map? We've got
Sometimes
aggression
you
in A
just get
main.
those players.
We've got aggression in A main. Milky just ran all the way up to left side mid to find an opening pick onto Cleavy. And you know the rotates came in fast for that artillery onto B, but
And Deity's pushing up after that first kill, but they're not ready. Oh, yes, they are. Rye with a good clear. Onto Toxic there. Now Thomix left. Sinbad blinds himself and E-Rock takes a shot. A bit of an unfortunate flashbang as Kenny D takes out Sinbad coming into the middle. And as you mentioned, Starlight, the team away has been pushing very aggressively. And that's what you want to see when it comes to, good Counter-Strike. Not aggressive CT side, but a proactive one. They want to make sure they have this space. They want to make sure that they have information before they go on for rotates. As we know, there's a lot of teams that like to fake out there, and this is just one way to counter that.
yeah, definitely. But I think you saw some of the shortcomings of that aggression too, because a 1-for-1 on the CT side is not good enough to maintain that much aggressive space. As soon as Milky kind of fell, there was no information on whether or not the T's were going to bunch up straight on B, and a 4-man rush right through. Got to the play.
Toxic taken out again by Rye. This B battle is just going absolutely well for both sides. And Sinbad spots one, and he just falls back here. A good reposition, but Didi takes out Milky towards the middle. G-Rock gets out Vaughn. It's not looking good for the CTs in this round here, but Thomas onto one. Falls up for the quick switch and picks up a second onto Deity. Just these last two A players, and they're not muscle. And a good movement here from Team Home here, just banking over towards that B side, and they're coming. They're moving. They're stomping loud, and Team away. It's looking like they're not going to be pushing any further than that. It's looking like a save here. Skinny D pushing into Palace, trying to go for an aggressive angle here, trying to cut off some of the rotates. And he is in a very good angle here. Sinbad making a lot of noise here. He's the most healthy HP player here. Comics gets taken out here, and now Kenny D definitely knows exactly where this player is. Doesn't push any further. Knows he doesn't have to, and Sinbad just waiting, maybe going for some exit frags here, or possibly even doing the map out of going for it, but doesn't matter as Kenny D rips his head straight off, bringing him back up to 6-5 now.
Yeah, this is a skill that a lot of teams will employ in official matches, but people will typically play the same bomb sites that they do at the start of the game. I think as soon as Thomas got those 2 kills and the rest of the T's realized, hey, it's Sinbad, notorious A main pusher. You guys think anyone's on B? And I think they realized very quickly no one was home at the B bomb site. That's the kind of stuff, the adaptation that you can build throughout the half to get you rounds nice and clean.
Your economy is also not looking too good here. An MP9 and a Max 7. Only one M4 onto Thomix there. The B side is wide, going for another aggressive fight. Trades a good amount of damage, but good HE onto Toxic. Going back now. Thomix taken out. That's the only rifle in the round for the CT side. Open here. Vaughn spots one towards boats. For another flash peek. She doesn't peek off of it, knowing that Kenny D is holding. Picks up that M4 towards middle. Rye once again doing the thing towards B, trying to bait some noise, and he's gonna catch the timing. Oh, spotted the shoulder. Picks on Milky. Going for a spray, cannot take it. Doesn't manage to control the spray. Now going for that B site. There, E-Rock onto Toxic again. He just spots one of the shoulders. Rye gets the bomb. No armor for Sinbad. The aim punch will take him out there. And Bomb left alone. Unable to close out the half there. It is now a tied half, 6-6, and we have a very good game. E-Rock and Sinbad both leading the charges for both their teams, with Thomix coming in right behind them.
Yeah, definitely momentum based there. You can see no real ping-ponging throughout the rounds. 2 in a row for the CTs after a great pistol, 3 and an immediate 3 in a response back. I thought the CT side there, maybe it's just me and my old age showing. I thought just a tad too aggressive. And that's what you can kind of see in Combine games when everyone kind of just like has an idea of how to play Anubis. Maybe this team is just more aggressively inclined than most other teams. But sometimes the aggression won them those rounds, but I don't know if the payout was worth it necessarily. But hopefully that aggression translates well to the attacking side of this map.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, I know we talked about how vibes and being able to shoot back is a good indicator that you're a good player, but also the mental. Can you be taking from a good round or a very pathetic half? Maybe like an 11-4. If you're able to keep the mental up, it's over. Atomics coming up with the dualies. So Kenny D with a great trade, and you saw the kills coming in back and forth. Vaughn. Kenny D with a good trade, and Milky on the very late lurk, and they have Rye on the 8 bomb site, takes out one. That's Vaughn down, and they're planting the bomb still, planting now behind Cake. Rye pushing up here, also lands clean headshot. Going for the spam, and Doxer taking out Rye. The P2000s bullets just aren't enough.
I don't know about you, Nexus, but it tilts the absolute hell out of me to get bombarded by 4 HEs in mid. You know what's also doubly tilting from that is that it was the exact same play the home team used on the away team when they were on CT pistol. So I wonder if there was a little bit of borrowing in terms of the strat book on that one. But definitely that opening in mid, blue wide open cameras, even though Kenny tried his best with 2 there, just not able to stem the 4 teams.
Now they hear all these nades being pushed onto that into middle here. Domix doesn't have the bomb, but is tossing the smoke. The Mac 10 should be farming up here, but cannot. That's just one Mac 10 down. Going to farm up some money as Sinbad picks up 2 kills back to back. Toxic onto Deity, and it's just your standard or eco round here. Sinbad just takes him out cleanly, excuse me, and is making up a lot of money here. They can definitely drop a couple. They can definitely drop these Mac 10s, or they can use it for a bonus.
Yeah, for all this talk about the Combine period and learning, I salute Thomix for standing there and learning what I believe is the bricks or palace smoke. We salute your service for that one, Thomix, even though 4 people were on your ass chasing you down. But
I learned this lineup. I'm gonna use this lineup.
That's what the Combines are for. That's what you had sight already. You had 3 people in sight, but no smokes on sight. That's a travesty. No, the smoke's gotta go. I respect that completely.
That's what my ex-girlfriend said about me. I just had to go, but Rock with a great kill onto Sinbad. Going to cast that volley. Going for a second. Spots one more and is ready for the re-swing, but there's Ride coming up some money. Does not take up the second kill, but there is a second player on this bomb site. It's Clevey Wonder. Is caught off guard by Doctor jumping. The jumping Mac 10 takes him out, and now it's Kenny D, Beauty, and E-Rock. Kenny trying to get that bomb plant down. He's so far up ahead that bomb is not too much, and Doctor is left. Picks up one. So a double kill, but double swung by E-Rock and Deity to close out the round there. It's now 8-7, a standard half in the greatest game to ever exist. Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
That is exactly right. 8-7. Oh, you're tugging at my heart here. A great bonus, all things considered, for the T side. You drop 3 guns here. You got the bomb down again. The money is more than healthy on that T side. Can't really say the same about the CT. Clevey at 3,500, Kenny at 38. Some hard decisions are going to have to come out here on that CT side. So this is really a pivotal round for the CTs. Lose this round, and the away team could very easily hit double digits here.
Absolutely. As you mentioned before, it is a momentum-based game, but it's also an economy-based game. You have to be able to read the economy and know how to manipulate it in your favor. The standard, I believe it's called Sponge's Law. You have to kill at least 3 CTs if you want to be able to break the CT economy. E-Rock going for these aggressive mid-fight once again. He's been really good at this. Taking out Sinbad, another heavy hitter on Team Wave. Alongside Doxic and Milky. And E-Rock is waiting for another repeat. Maybe not going any further. He gets caught off guard. Doxic does tag him up, but has the bomb. And out in the open, E-Rock perfectly times that peek, taking him out. But they don't know the bomb is dropped, so now they have to recover the bomb. And be able to pick a site. Hey, is just completely left alone. We see Kenny D, I believe, making their way back. Beauty spots up Milky, does some damage, but is taken out by Kenny D, and Deity's just pushing forward here. Thomix is waiting for this sort of push. But Deity isn't going towards her. Crosshair Vaughn makes a step. And call off guard here. Yep, doesn't clear his angle as Clevery Wonder with the MP9 takes him out. Picks up an AK. Now it's left to Thomix, who doesn't have the bomb. And is over towards A side. He hears the steps, but doesn't move any forward. Oh, spots the body. I'm not going for the fight anymore, knowing that he has one clean opportunity to take that shot and take that kill, and it went away. Tomix waiting for the repeat as he's falling down. A great headshot. Now they know where Tomix is. 25 seconds left on the clock here. He has to move fast, or he has to get all 3 of these kills. Moment while he comes in, flash comes out, spots one. And he picks him up, picks up the first kill, but now he has to get the last 2 in succession.
No.
13 seconds left, but he cannot win the round. He has to go fast, and he has to go now. Picks up the up as he knows the round is lost. Definitely was doable, but Cleaving Wonder was repositioning.
But that's a costly round to win for the CTs. After talking about how this round is pivotal for them to not let the Ts get into double digits, sure, Thomix is not going to get any money here, but he's keeping an off through. But you've got 4 people who need to rebuy again for the CTs. You'd like to see them bank a little bit more economy, but it's not as dire as I originally imagined. Seems like the 2 people who died were the people who lived from the previous round. One thing is for sure, though, mid is closed for business. E-Rock has been a terror on this midpoint here, and the Ts are kind of just feeding him kills individually. I'd like to see like a bit more bunching, you know, potentially a trade, a smoke, a flash, anything really to get through this choke point in mid.
A good opposing smoke by the CTs here, but there is a boost you can do on that right side of mid that was taught to me by Chipbap, local challenger player. And they're doing a very similar boost here, and the bullets coming through Thomas, through the smoke onto Cleavy Wonder. That's a good opening pick for Team Away here, and Rye taken out here by Doxic. That's another second opening pick. Vaughn, they're just coming in. The kills are coming in. This B side is now weak, and they're pushing in through the middle. He has to get this kill, and he does. Doesn't fully rotate up. Now it's all left up to E-Rock. He was on the B side with that op there. Close range opping. Picks up the first. Uses the pillar around him. Does not get the second as Sinbad takes out Deity on the opposite side of the map. A great round by Team Away. And so just some good positioning.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's out of spite for me as a new caster or whatever, but you know, the minute I praise E-Rock's op in mid, it goes to dark, and they switch over to trying to hold mid with a rifle, but the deep smoke immediately gives it away, because if you're going to hold mid with an op, why would you smoke it? And so I think that gave the Ts the confidence to kind of boost over, knowing that there was no one-shot kill weapon behind that smoke, found an opening frag, and then as they spread the map, they found more ones, took them, and they ran with it.
That picks up a double, a quad actually. As Stomachs pick up, stealing the ace. A very desperate reverse speed rush there by Team Home, but one that was definitely needed. And as you mentioned before, Starly, you know, it was such a pivotal round to keep their economy in check, and because they managed to lose 1 round, even though they won 2 in a row, made it so that they had to go for a save, and their money still isn't great.
Yeah, now it's looking dire. Obviously, you're gonna set on pistols here, go for a full eco, but now you're on 11. You know, are you gonna bring that off back into mid on that 20th round? Like, how are you gonna change the CT hold? This doesn't, you know, with all due respect to the T side, oh, okay, that's just through the smoke. You know, with all due respect to the T side, it doesn't feel like they're doing a ton. You know, it's not like a set play. It's not like, oh, like we're gonna split mid through A or anything like that. It's kind of just been like, you know, we'll take a fight somewhere on the map, win that, and then just kind of fall behind it. You know, I do worry for the CT side a little bit on the next round in terms of what the setup is going to end up.
Like I said before, their money is still not looking good, so they had to go for another save, and you know, Team Away just kind of had to steamroll around them there. That Galil doing in some work, right? Three kills, 3 clean kills, and they don't lose a single weapon here. Now Rai, just maybe hoping for some eco damage, some exit frags, hopefully maybe even being able to pick up a gun. And this is a very, very hot take. Something that I don't think a lot of people agree with, but the Galil is far better than the M4A4. I said it, and I'll stick with it.
That is scorching hot, but I think not as hot as it would have been in Go, especially with the increased magazine, the propensity to allow it to spray through smokes. I think people are warming up on the Galil, along with the T economy changes. Let's see here. Does E-Rock go for an op? He has money, but it's going to be a glass cannon. Rai could drop one to him if he feels, but I don't know. Is that confidence there in Combines? It is. It is there. It is there. It is there. I want to see E-Rock come mid here. Just go back to what worked. You know, put your best player in the most pivotal spot and just let him go to town. And that's exactly what he's doing here.
The double scope in, waiting for a peek there, and he's gonna give it to him. He does. Thomix tries to go for the wide swing, but E-Rock is just too fast. Sinbad trying to make up some work for it. And maybe hopefully to retrieve that up. But Milky has made his way towards box here. Going in for a fast pick. Picks up the first kill. Really nice to take it out, but he does. Now there's one towards jail, and that's Clevie Wonder taken out by Toxic. Sinbad still in the middle. E-Rock with a great kill. He's just so good on this op. It's a 2v3 though, and DD has to push further. The bomb is very far away. If DD was just a little bit faster, the bomb would have been dropped in no man's land, and they would have had to, the T's would have had to retake here.
And next is
Now-
crucially, no smokes left on the T side, so this op is about to run free.
So he does, but misses the first shot, but DD picks up Toxic. And now they know where this op is. Grenade does not do as much damage. Flash going out here, but look at Milky pushing far behind. Going in for an aggressive flank here. E-Rock is trying to go forward, and Vaughn peeks at the perfect time to take him out here. And as you mentioned, they had, E-Rock was so good on this mid presence. He went back towards mid, but they have to make sure that the other sides are just as well locked down besides mid.
Part of the problem when you put just a solo offer in mid and not a rifle to back him up is that he needs to chamber another round, and Milky snuck into canals under him into dark. I don't think anyone on the CT side was expecting a T to pop out a dark that quick into the round, and so he opens up that entry onto B, and then a second player to support him from B main can soft-footed.
A good trade there by Clevie Wonder onto Milky, but it's one that I don't think was really worth it. Losing a FAMAS for an AK, which is fine, but you're now down, down to CT. Now the T's can just bum rush into the site. The CTs have to spread out, and I'm just not a big fan of that. E-Rock playing close up in this angle here, but Deity pulling a Sinbad, pushing through A main, or through A, and pushing into mid. Now a lot of these people are here. They don't know that he's here, and he tosses the flashbang, so now they know. And it doesn't pick up a kill. Revealed their position way too early. Now E-Rock has to go for a play here. He hears him coming down. Clevie Wonder has to stay alive. You have an HE. If you fall off here, he does. The fake flash does not work in his favor. The HE does work. E-Rock, Clevie Wonder, a no scope from Thomix. It's a 1v1 now. You couldn't have asked for more from the CT side here. Thomix has to retrieve the bomb here. Pushing up here, misses the flick. Jumping XM to take out Thomix to secure another round to play. It is match point for Team Away, and Team Home don't want to stop yet.
Is there a better microcosm of how CS2 has felt to some of us when a jumping XM is above your screen, above your scope as an opper, and just completely owns you to deny you match point? I don't think there is. Great job there from Deity, even though he did give away his position at the end. I think change up your CT style. You've shown a lot of aggression towards mid, a lot of action towards B, but not a lot towards A. Why not push A main? And had he not thrown the flash there, I think he could have gotten at least one, maybe.
You say that Deity is wise to cross here, and Sinbad is here for the trade that A main to push it, but Thomix! Absolutely great flip onto E-Rock there. Here's the footsteps as Kennedy spots one out towards mid. That's Vaughn taking out there. Towards mid, another one taken out by Ryan. Oh, Toxic dink from a long-range MP9. No one's allowed to see it. Toxic pushing up here. They take him out here. Now it's left to Sinbad, who's the only player left for the T side, and spotted one towards A main. Be ready for it. Sinbad down to 41 HP. Doesn't have anything left to work with, but Bomb is in control of Team Home here. And he's baiting the footsteps. But no one was there to hear, so they just think he's on A side. And he's moving forward. He's using all the time in the world. Made a bit of a step, but I don't think they heard it either. Smoke is now starting to fade. And now Sinbad has to clear these angles perfectly. And off angle in the middle, and Kennedy picks up the kill. A great peek on the timing, and that's another round for Team Home. Like I said, they don't want to stop. They're not through with this combine just yet.
That kind of coordinated aggression you saw from the remaining 3 CTs is stuff you see from top table teams from the regular season. Rye, Kenny, and Clevie, I correctly identified where all of the pressure from the T side was coming from through mid, and Rye was able to get into canals, peek over that bridge, and at the same time, Clevie and Kenny were going to fight people at house and doors. That was just really, really well played. It turned a 3v5 into a 3v2 in a matter of seconds.
Now, another heavy B lane here No one towards A, no one towards middle. They have to go for this. The flashes have to come in soon. They're just setting up there. They're letting the CTs, excuse me, waste all their utility. But Kenny D, the team home, are pulling a strategy from team away, and they're just pushing aggressively. But it's a calculated push. They're not going hyper aggressive as team away will. Now, folks should be coming in here. The rotates are coming in too. They waited too long. They have to go now. But Rye takes up Sinbad while blind. They match him now through here. Clevey wanted to take up the second. Milky onto Deity just before. Onto bodies on this side here. Doxic onto Clevey. Now it's left to Rye. They're still in bricks. Bomb has not been planted yet, and these smokes have a timing on them. And oh, Rye doesn't spam through the smoke. There's something. That's Kennedy onto Doxic there. Now left for Milky and Thomix, both hiding towards Dark. It is planted for Dark here, and Rye with a perfect peek onto Thomix. Milky just waiting for the cross here. Spots the body, shoots a little bit too early, and gets double peeked by Rye and Kenny D. Another round secured for Team Home, and now we are at the final round before we head into overtime.
Yeah, you know, I am an old geezer. I am a sucker for patient play, and I have to commend Rye there. When the site feels like it's collapsing around you, just deep breath, hold your position, and don't make a hero play. That's exactly what he did. He waited for reinforcements to arrive, and arrive they did onto that 3v3 retake, and now is the money on the T side? It'll recover. It'll recover. It's salvageable here. So we could very well be looking at OT here.
The very final round, the 24th round here, and it's looking like it's going to be another heavy lean, but this time towards the A-bomb site. And they hear all this noise coming up here. Flash maybe has a weird bounce there. Maybe with a very preemptive molly, but Deity Milky as stomach takes out Rye. She goes in, does some good damage here. Deity spotting for the shoulder spots. He takes out the one. Mollied out there, but Kenny D. Straight here, Kenny cannot pick up a second as Sinbad does pick up two of their own. Bomb plant now ready to go. It'd be a shame if Team Away or Team Home were to lose the game on this 2v2. Now E-Rock and Clevey Wonder have to pull up and have to show up. E-Rock has been such a heavy hitter on the CT side on that op. But can he do the impossible? One for peak. Takes the first. The trade isn't there. The spray transfer is not there. Now it's down to the 1v1. Both ups going at it. E-Rock picks up the M4 but loses. Thomix misses the shot. I'm losing my mind here. He smokes, and he doesn't pick up the kill. E-Rock has a kit. Thomix misses a very crucial shot, but that's overtime, guys.
All the talk about how Go was the better game, and we're gonna get a Go stat line. We're gonna get a Go match line, just like the Counter-Strike gods intended. Someone's gonna have to get to 16, okay, in order to win this game. God bless.
God bless indeed. Can we just get an 07s in chat for Counter-Strike Global Offensive? An 07s. Having me tear up, man.
One thing I want to bring up right before, I mentioned this when the sides were flipped again. When you feel a lot of A pressure, you're starting to recognize, hey, the CTs are getting way too much info on A. They have way too much, free space on it. It seems like the default response here is to immediately just kick the door in on them, send 5 people right through A main, and try and catch this guy out. And of course, both times across both teams, it's not worked out, because the one time you expect that guy to push for the 3rd straight round, he's playing passive back in heaven or towards the headshot angle on cameras. So unlucky for both teams there, but lucky for us, we get overtime because of it.
Sometimes you just, make an improper guess. Sometimes your guess just wasn't meant to be, and that's the fact that we have to live with. Not every play that you make will be 100% correct. It may not even be a bad call. You might have just guessed it. And that's a very medium cheat onto the team away here.
Speaking of bad calls, stacking 3 people outside B main is clearly a bad call here.
Yeah, I mean those HEs are just raining hellfire there. Another molly to secure any space to be, cleared out. And Deity deep in long here, definitely can push up here. Control here. But Sinbad with the bomb. E-Rock. Great flick. Now has to fall back here. Has one shot left. And he picks up. And isn't ready for the reload. And he's pulling out his pistol. E-Rock. This makes me lose my mind. I can't even speak. You saw me stuttering here, left, and there. I can't.
Does E-Rock have to fall off mid? Does he have to fall off mid? He doesn't think he has to fall off mid. Thought he had the go op in hand. with the 10 bullets, but no, the USPS will get it done just fine. I think we spoke earlier about how Combines can be a little bit puggy, a little bit random in that sense, but I think this game is actually a perfect example of how it's not. You're kind of seeing both teams adapt to what has worked and what has not. And I think both teams are putting a really heavy priority right now on this initial offense.
Kenny onto Doctor, but Sinbad onto E-Rock, taking out one of the heavy hitters of that team. Home side, but Vaughn onto Rye. SG side should be looking weak, but they're overstacking it. He is looking like the weaker side still. And Kenny D going for some peaks here, going for some info play, and he's just holding. And Vaughn has to come up clean here, tossing the smoke up. Doesn't toss it actually, and Kenny B has just walked into his angle. Vaughn not ready for Kenny B to be that close up. With the bomb, has to pull up the Glock in burst mode, and that's the bomb drop. Milky and Thomex now have to recover and plays his perfection, but Kenny B is holding this, takes out Milky. The ops are reigning supreme now. Thomex onto the AK now, a 1v3. Clevie Wonder is half HP. Kenny D on 74. They have to come up huge here. 45 seconds left on the clock. And they're both holding this angle. Kenny D almost taking out, and a beautiful 4K on this, this round here. Team Home up to 14. It's looking like they're running away with this half.
Yeah, and typically speaking, in Go, we saw the AWP really more as kind of a defensive weapon, right? Where you could kind of outplay the peeker's advantage that was going to, be built into the game. But the CT side here has gone double up, and they're going to challenge you both in mid, and in that round, they changed something up. They introduced something new. They're going to challenge you in B main. And not only will the AWP be there, a second rifler will be there as well. And so you saw that in that opening aggression on B main, and they dropped the bomb for that.
I do want to take some time to mention that you said that this is like a perfect example of how an official match day would go, and that's because there's always going to be a player in one of these combines who will definitely be the game leader and just start spewing out ideas and start talking and start being a good lead of the team, and that's what you want to see. That's what we talk about on the scouts, and that A site is now completely lost. Kenny D. Good flick onto Sinbad, but Doxic onto E-Rock. The man advantage is still in the favor of Team Away here. And Kenny D caught out the nades out. And Clevie Wonder holding for this late mid player. Definitely spotted something. Doxic is waiting there. Right, going for a trade, going for a kill. Doesn't get it. Maybe Clevie Wonder unable to capitalize. It's now 13-14, and we have to see a Counter-Strike global offensive line or match score line here. But as we head into the second half here, hopefully Team Away can keep bringing their antics of some aggressive pushing.
Well, Nexus, I'm very flattered that you consider my words of "let's go A, guys" or "let's go B" to be a mantle of IGLing, because that's typically what it comes out to be in these combines. But regardless, the level of coordination here, a step up from honestly from what I used to. I don't know if that speaks volumes about me or my tier or a mixture of both, but I think this side switch here, very, very interesting here.
Yeah, and so this is the recruit tier. This is supposed to be the lowest tier in CSC.
They're not playing like it.
Exactly, and that's because the meta has just shifted so much. Back in 2016, Silvers wouldn't really know how to toss a Slayer smoke on Mirage, but when I first started playing back in 2019, that was the one that we all knew, and it was just that we all great players. That's Kenny D with a great control of that AK, taking a Vaughn in middle. Now they have to recalibrate. They had to reposition to account for this missing link in middle. And now Clevie Wonder tagged very low here, and Milky with a great peek. Falls off here. And well off their teammate as Sinbad takes out Clevie Wonder as well. A nice peekaboo shot from both these players here coming up here, and Sinbad takes out another with him. Now left in a 2v4. And op shots have both been exchanged. Thomex tossing for a flashbang. E-Rock is just out of there, falling off here. And Rye has made their way on the B bomb site. E-Rock taking out Toxic, and the bomb is still in middle, so they have to go for something here. That's why that B bomb site is left open. And Rye has a perfect time in here. Has the round in the palm of their hands. They can definitely catch out a player here. Sinbad in middle. And they're not. They're gonna keep walking. Oh, spots out the grenade. Doesn't spot their shoulder or their shadow, but now they're gonna hear all this noise being made. Ryan picks up the bomb and just booking it towards that piece of Sinbad. Didn't hear anything. Thomix did. Thomix is booking it towards that B site there. They're going to be planting for E main here. Sinbad hoping to see a little bit of a shoulder. Doesn't. And takes out Rye. Now it's left up to Erock, who has these 3 kills. Takes out the first. Spots the second. Misses that second shot. But knows he crossed. This is that third shot and is now blinded. The smoke is down. Tapping the bomb here. Oh, Erock picks up the second player and he goes up for the block again. And he does it again. The pistol. 4K to solidify match point again. Erock, how do you do it?
PC not normal. PC not normal. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's an incredible feat there, and I think the decision making from both Rye and Erock in that 2v3 both perfect. Rye grabs the bomb without hesitation, doesn't look for a kill, a trade or anything, just immediately books it out onto B. Erock, knowing that the bomb's planted for B main, gets into the right spot and just delivers heroics.
And I mean, Rye taking out that first kill too. Just going to get the Milky on their way back here. Sinbad catch now Kennedy. A nice little fight there towards A main. But now Sinbad can just freely leave A main, knowing that they only have 1 player towards A main, unless it's a rush. This adaptation that you mentioned before, Starly, is something that they have to be, good with, and they've been showing it really well. But sometimes they don't see something that, directly in their face, just like you can't see your nose, even though your brain is.
Yeah, I think Van was spotted on that cross to jail, but Tees don't have a molly to flush him out here. They'd be selling an arm and a leg for one if they could.
Well, it's only cost $400, so you maybe have maybe a risk, but clearly onto Milky, a great headshot. And now the CTs are still very separated. Why? Leading the charge here, going for an aggressive, map control. Sinbad, looks away from the angle, baited by the sound. And now they're going towards A. Rye telling the team, go on ahead without me. I'm gonna hold and cut off the rotates here. Thomix is waiting for it though. Only for it. The team doesn't move out with it. And she picks up that kill. Rye is just going absolutely crazy this round. On doesn't tame the spray. And that is the game for Team Home. A well-played game for the first match of the first night of Combines.
Could you ask for anything better? I couldn't. I couldn't.
I mean, I could
gonna
ask for a nice double cheeseburger with some bacon and
Okay.
some onions on the side.
Okay.
But this is just as good. No, it's not. But and yeah, it was just a phenomenal game here. And anything else to add, Starly?
Yeah, I think especially on that last round, you would see a lot of teams kind of just go head first straight into a bomb site, right? Like, oh, we're up 3v2, we've got a man advantage here. Let's just trade kills out and just get the bomb down. Put the pressure back on the CTs. I thought the way Team Home did there was very interesting. Slow it down, and instead of rushing into a bomb site, have everyone basically stack on top of each other to guarantee a trade kill. In something like Combines where the communication is not, perfect, especially with people you don't know, personalities you're not sure are going to mesh or whatever. I thought that was a great display of teamwork there to basically just sit on top of one another. If we get killed, trade me out, okay, and you can just play that numbers game down to a 2v1, basically. I thought that was really, really smart of them from there.
I definitely noticed that there were a couple players on the team. Erock specifically is already a signed player, so it just goes to show you the level of competition that you're gonna have to go up against in these combines, and it's just such a phenomenal way to start it off. But with that being said, we're gonna cut to a break and hopefully see you guys in the next game, hopefully of a different tier. So don't leave just yet. We'll see you guys there. All right, the break was not as long as we anticipated. We already have a game here for you, and this time in the elite tier. Here we have on Team Away, James Coda, Spidey, Ethan's Channer, believe that's how you pronounce it, Assassin. And on Team Home, we have CVB, Cure, Manifest, Rundle, and Halcyon. I am of course Nexus, joined by Starly, my co-caster, and let's get right into this game here.
Yeah, two rounds in. That's just how Combine streaming tends to go. T's off to a great pistol start, and we're back on Anubis, interestingly. Nexus, is this something you saw? I don't know if you've been, I don't know how long you've been playing, a couple seasons now, right? Have you seen Anubis kind of be, growing in popularity? Because it doesn't seem to be that popular in Premier.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I know when it comes to prospects and recruiting, most often alongside Vertigo. So we definitely are straying away from the lower tiers. Only know how to play Mirage, Fiasco way back when. But yeah, we're gonna see a little bit more coordinated play, but also some more timings coming out from these players. Halcyon spots a timing there, some good jump spotting. Nice headshot onto James Coda as Rundle takes out Spidey on that B side, and they're falling off here. Very similar playstyle, but Ethan right here takes out the first or the second steps and does not take them out there. And the team is right behind them as the bomb gets planted as Cantor and Assassin are left to clutch up here. 2v3. Rundle is very low. Assassin does make a step, and they know. They 100% know. Cantor spotted out here, maybe by the sound. And he doesn't get spotted, but Cure unable to recalibrate their crosshair. Just spamming. It's still a 2v2. There is a no kid, excuse me. An assassin pushing up here. Shadow advantage. But CVB does take them out. And Cantor, unable to go any further, is taken out by CVB. 3 kills into the round and another round for Team Home. Now leading the charge at 3-0.
Yeah, and last round was a bomb plant. This one they get the bomb down again as well. I mean, the T side is truly well enrolling here out. This game specifically, I just want to go back to the players a little bit. This one's a little bit more filled with returning players. Two members of Upsetty Spaghetti's challenger winning team in Spidey and Cure, and I also recognize two members of Angry Pirates' former elite team in Cantor and Halk, along with Gass's James Coda. So ideally, these guys know each other a little bit more. Expect the communication, expect the team play to get a little bit better in this game.
Yeah, and Rondo just ready for that Spidey push. Expecting a little bit more, not getting over aggressive there. And CVB with a great peek onto Cantor. An Assassin trying to fall away from Evox. CVB does take out James Coda as well. Assassin doing the steps a little preemptive on the CZ. A little bit of a black gun, but does pick up the kill. Assassin going for a repeat. The aim punch not working out for them. Does spot out 3, but it's left up to Ethan in a 1v4 with just the 5-7 and some hopes and dreams.
Yeah, and I just realized this is quite the star-studded game, if you will, because there's also two former GMs in this game as well. Assassin, former GM of ATO, now rebranded to Lambda Esports Club, and Manifest, who handed the reins of Big Slime off to Konotoki. So definitely a lot of big hitters in this game for some reason.
Very hefty names here, and as you mentioned, Manifest and Assassin are former GMs. So if you can make a good impression with them, they'll definitely pass on, that knowledge to whoever their new GM is, and to anyone else who needs to ask. I know everyone is always more than willing to give out their pieces of advice or pieces of information to other GMs and other captains. But Ethan, he's a catch. First falls off, picks up a second. 2 AKs down, and he only needs the one, and he's falling out. That bomb radius has been so I don't know the words to describe it on CS2, but back his turn. Might be ready to get peeked here. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, I'm. I, okay, my AK doesn't do that.
Mine doesn't either, so I guess I need to take mine to the shop to get that fixed.
Or we ban them. You know, it's for
Do you
me,
have
ban them.
you have that power? Because I'm new in
I
town.
don't have that power.
You don't have that power, okay.
No, but I can make a very strongly worded email.
Wow. Well, regardless, I think the casting crew here will be filing numerous numbers reports off of just that.
Report there, but James Coda can be reported for that first shot here. If he got the second, definite report. Very quick, but it will come to fruition. Halcyon with the peak and Manifest just falling off here, taking what they can get, and they're falling out. Yep. They have bomb control, and it's a 2v4 situation.
Yeah, just going back again to what I talked about, that like more coordinated pushing. You saw as soon as the team got that first pick on James into B, there was an immediate fill-in onto the B bomb site. It really took the heroics of Ethan to get 2 towards jail to really shut that rush down. Just little differences. Rather than it taking 2 seconds for your team to come into the bomb site, that was instantaneous. We're gonna see more of that throughout this game, as the CTs should. I say should, with 55 seconds left on the clock, should pick up their first here. But those are just the kind of things that you see as you move up the tiers.
Definitely. And one of the things that I do like to, point out here is the difference between, both recruit and elite, right? Recruit players are very, on edge, they're very worried about these certain angles that the T's can be coming from. Whereas elite, they know that they can come from there, but they just have to trust their intuition and their game sense to leave that angle and to, play for the rotate. And at this level, this high level of Counter Strike, it's all about mind games. Spidey in a very aggressive angle, nice off angle, picks up a double onto his his friend and his teammate, and it's just looking good so far for Team Home here. But that's a good round from Team Away.
Oh, what I would pay to see all chat. What I would pay to see all chat in this game. When there's already established players, everyone kind of has relationships. They're a little bit more bold to talk some trash. Oh, just the simple dreams of a flying type Pokemon. Can't get it, unfortunately, as the T's here go down to a half by a force here. I see an R8 on Cure.
A force, but I mean, like you said, 4 rounds ahead, with a couple of bomb plants down, but it's just working up there. And James Coda and Scanter picking up 2 of their own, but Manifest on a good trade here. Cure with the RA having a little bit of fun here, or they're just a notable RA user. Ethan, nice pick up to Rondo, and it's just your standard eco round. Manifest has enough for everyone has to work with. Maybe we can see something coming up from Manifest here.
Kira's always preferred the more exotic weapons. If you were to ask any member of the Upsetty Spaghetti Challenger team, don't ask him what his opinions are on the auto sniper or the MP5 silenced. Cure wields both, and with deadly precision.
Curious now. What's so bad about the MP5 silenced?
Oh, Cure has a couple of highlight reel plays with the MP5 silenced, a gun that's not in anyone's loadouts but his own. I'm sure if you were to ask UPS, they'd be more than happy to show you the light of that weapon.
Ethan spots out that flash, turns away from the flash, picks up the first, but doesn't spot the second. Oh my god, Kier! James Coda holding for the repeat, but that was a very ambitious play from both Manifest and Kier, and I respect it. I give him a very solemn high five on that one.
Of course, as soon as I speak, highly of Cure's exotic weaponry, the Force of Habit kicks in and he picks up a deagle for that last kill. Buy here for both teams now. Let's see how they or it's not a buy, excuse me, sorry, because of the previous force. It's another eco for the home team, actually. On the next round, I'm interested to see how a full gun round plays out. We've seen a lot of aggression earlier on, it feels like in this game compared to the recruit one. I wonder if that aggressiveness will keep up throughout. This time, rather than the CTs getting aggressive throughout the map, it feels like the Ts are kind of pushing the tempo, never letting the CTs dig
A great lowdown by Ethan. Now, if you have seen any of my previous cast, you know that I am an avid A4 lover. And he's going for it again. A4 gets that 4th kill there. And James Coda picking up a nice double to close up the round. Just your standard eco round there. Just overall, how you want to play Pixel Perfect. They lost to one player in Ethan, which is, I think, is okay. You lose one player, more than okay. As we mentioned before, Sponge's Law. Yeah, it plays out right there.
Yeah, money is good, and with 3 rounds in a row for the CT side, they're more than okay to trade a player for a round win, essentially. I'm going to be paying attention to the mini-map here. Something we didn't see during the recruit game was a smoke for dark or a smoke for house. I wonder if that's going to change here. It won't right now. It looks like that smoke is headed for big lawn, actually. And that's the only one at the start.
Absolutely, and the T's are very spread out there with very heavy lean towards one part of the map, whether it's A, middle, or B, and they have a plan set in mind. This is what it comes down to when it comes to these official players, right? As you know, we mentioned before, a lot of these players are signed. A lot of these players have some notoriety within the league. Kieran and Spidey being 2 names to come to mind, as they both have won 2 seasons back to back, and it's their first 2 seasons as Kier and Memphis pick up 2 kills with Spidey on the trade.
Yeah,
now falling off here. The Molly is out, and they're just falling back. And now they're just repositioning and regrouping.
Yeah. And this level of discipline is something you're also going to see as we move up in the tiers. Off of 2 picks in the round, what do the Ts do? They calm down, they recollect themselves, and they're grouping here for a split through Dark and B main onto B, where there's only an
And James Coda is called out. That smoke, a little bit of a bait, I believe. didn't pop just yet and was waiting for it to bloom, and it just didn't. Assassin and Spidey now have to decide whether they want to go for the retake or if they want to go for the save, and it's looking like they want to go for the retake here. Assassin dropping down into dark here, and Spidey pushing in through cave. Assassin picking up the first. That's Rundle down. Flash out towards long. Doesn't pop out. Assassin clearing out dark. He's got pizza. And doesn't get the kill as Spidey is taken out by CVB off of a great timing peek. Not expecting a peek from the pillars by Bricks.
Yeah, I think the decision to go for a retake was okay. You see, there's still a buy left in the CTs, and I think what they were looking for is really to drop guns off the Ts, try and make it as painful as possible for the economy. They're only able to get the one. That's okay. Um, again, that feint basically towards A, even though they were able to get that pick towards mid, towards canals, just slow the pace down, collect yourselves, get the communications to be clear, and it was clear that they were going to work together as a team, four-man unit, cohesive towards B.
Ethan, once again, as we didn't see in that recruit game, an aggressive, play style. Ethan has been moving around, you know, getting the nice opening pick, which is what you want your operator to do. The op is meant to be an opener and a closer and a mid rounder all at the same time. And it's such an important role to wield this very powerful and expensive weapon. And to be able to get that for your team is perfect. But it's taken out there by Rondo, a great headshot. Might have spotted the shoulder there. Molly goes a little bit too short there. And now gonna peek behind it. James Cota spots one, is tagged up a little bit, going for a nice flash, nice bounce flash. A little bit reminiscent of Brax there. Does take out Cure. And waiting for this Molly to dissipate as Assassin takes out Rundle. It's now Halcyon and CVP left to clutch up a 2v5, or 2v4, excuse me. And they're just taking this space together. Once again, regrouping. We didn't see this in the recruit game, but they like to regroup. And James Cotto once again spotting the info and just falling off. Know that they have the man advantage and know that they can just give up some space.
Yeah, James played this round to perfection. The confidence to re-peek mid twice there, get the info on one and a kill on the second. Now he's falling back on take. Makes this take from the T's pretty much impossible in a 2v4.
Definitely Cantor. This is a nice little angle to be holding. Not expecting someone to be this wide out, but CVB is ready for it. A nice clear, but Assassin's Dark misses the first shot. Now tagged down to 39 HP. Just falling off here. Planet 4 CT CVB might get caught off guard. And they do. James Coda cannot deny the bomb plant down, but does bring it down. And Halcyon unable to, pick up the kill onto James Coda, but God, he got so close. Team Away now up to 4 rounds, and they're starting to bring it back.
Yeah, I think Away was starting to sweat a little bit when Assassin missed that shot, but CVB just unfortunately chose, an unlucky spot. Not a lot of safe spaces on the bomb site to plan, and unfortunately he leaves himself a little bit open to the CT lawn position there. Is what it is. You got to plant. You're not too angry about it. As the T side, obviously a round win would have been great, but you see the money there on the T side. They're looking for a half investment here, probably a fast play somewhere, I'd imagine, just to see if they can't replicate that bomb plant success.
And they are now down to pistols and SMGs with a few pieces of utility. So usually they have a plan behind it. There's always going to be a set plan when they have this much minimal utility. And Cantor is just going aggressive, pushing into bridge there. And Rundle picking up. Assassin does pick up the no scope, but too many bodies to handle with just the opposite. James put a the Molly. Misses just barely. It's about to just pick up that last player in Manifest here. And Spidey just trying to stay alive, but cannot stay alive. As CVB is chasing them down with that MAC-10. And now the retake is on a 3v3. Superior weapons in favor of Team Away. Just MAC-10s. And a pistol for Halcyon and CVB. Here has it M4. Playing the fight here. Just gets spotted and takes out Ethan. But it's a 1-for-1 trade. James Cota bounces the flash weirdly. Not going for a peek here. Cancer picks him up. And Halcyon with the tree. And he's second. A nice 180 from Halcyon. That I was leaned back, assuming that it was a round win from Team Away, and Halcyon just quickly shuts me up.
Oh, that is not a good idea to do when Halcyon is still up and kicking. Left a nice little present for his teammate there in Cantor. I thought the plant on the backside of Donut was a little confusing because a site on Anubis can be a little claustrophobic. There's not a lot of great angles to play within the site. Normally, you'd expect the T's to plant for a main and then play for that instead. But it works out. Everything played out fine there. Here, importantly, got the trade in.
Oh, Ethan just eats that nade. Oh, just a one-tap close range deagle. TVB and just going for a good trade there. Weapon is still in their favor, but the position is still not going well for Team Away. They have to spread out, but Cure, the rest of the squad, is now pulling up on this B side. Rundle takes out Spidey, trying to go for the spam with the Deagle and James Coda. Gonna go past their smoke here. Maybe a little bit too ambitious. James Coda quickly gets spotted out, but doesn't manage to take a frag. Halcyon is tagged very low, and Ethan is just falling all the way towards A, going for a save.
Yeah, he's just gonna save this AK assassin's gonna look for one to join him. But I think there's two schools of thought, Nexus, and you tell me which one you belong to. When you're playing against an eco round, Team Home took it nice and slow here. Got the smokes down where they belong, recognized, hey, these pistols are still dangerous to us, even if we group up proper, as Assassin lands a great shot. He's still alive here and kicking, finally goes down. You know, the Team Home played it nice and slow here, but other teams will say, hey, you know, these guys just have pistols, okay? Like, load up on the SMGs, load up on, you know, just the rushes, basically, and let's just steamroll someone. I think both schools are valid, but in this case, you know, that slow and steady play really worked out to prevent James Coda from sneaking through that smoke. Halk had the bomb plant covered.
You know, that's a very good point there, and personally for me, if I'm already dead, and I go into the next round having to buy, knowing that they're on an eco, I buy a Mac 10 and tell my teammates, hey, let's go for a fast play, send me out first, let me farm, or let me see if I can poke and prod with this Mac 10 so I can find out where they're stacked, and maybe push rotate out there. But if I already have an AK, I can just get that AK up and we just play for a very slow pace round. So it really just depends on how we play in here. Especially with the great white switch out to Assassin as he misses the shot. Now we know Assassin's a great opper, you know, from his many plays here in CSC. And so to see him miss that shot against CVB is a little bit crucial.
It's okay, I'm sure you can just blame day one Combines, you know, servers not running up to full speed or whatever. The excuse bag is deep for any good player, and Assassin is one of them.
It's never your fault. If they kill you, they're
Oh,
cheating.
no,
But Cantor takes out Halcyon. Sneaking up on this piece of under the crosshair of James Coda and takes him out, but Cantor is there very quick with the trade and not quick enough. The rotates are still in here. We do have a player in Palace. That's Assassin with that position again. It just is tagged down just a little bit longer. His flank is coming in. That's Manifest taking out Spidey and Kira taking out by Ethan. Moving very fast in the flank, picks up a second. That's CVP down. Now it's left to Manifest, who is in dark. Two players on low HP. Molly is down. A team Molly. Manifest is. This is very doable. A team Molly to take out it, and he goes for the peak, but isn't able to close it out. Cantor able to close it out themselves. And now the bomb plant. Excuse me. The bomb, the fuse, able to come up there, and now Team Away with 5 rounds. Still a good half for Team Home, but still such a good game in front of us.
Yeah, I think for Combines, you know, the more chaotic nature of the T side, I would give a slight advantage towards the T side, especially with Anubis's historical leaning towards a T side map. I think this is about as good as the CTs could have hoped for without a pistol. But I mean, these rounds are back and forth, and we've seen some real heroics when the bomb goes down. You know, Manifest was almost able to do that there with a little bit of help from a CT Molly and Halk with a great 180 headshot. I felt like on that A main play to get Team Home to 7.
Definitely. And so as we head into this pistol round now, we see two Tech-9s, excuse me, and a couple of pieces of utility, a smoke and a flashbang on Cantor, and it's looking like they're going for a heavy mid-play. Rondo falling off, knowing that Gloss are still far ahead with the pistol. And that Tech-9 is ringing. My lord.
Yeah, but here's the problem with this mid take. They haven't gone through. I think now they're finally making a concerted play to cameras, but look at how many people have already rotated to the cave. Can they even get this bomb down?
Okay, so James Coda on the double kill, taking out some kills of their own to control this Heaven player and Halcyon, who is taken out, thankfully so, but now without a team push on the way here. Ethan taking out CVB. Now left to Manifest once again, left to clutch up, couldn't clutch, or did clutch up last round. Let's see if he can do it again in a 1v3. Cannot, as James Cotto just rips their head clean.
Yeah. A huge problem with Anubis on this map is that just getting to the doors and getting to house isn't good enough. You need to find a way to break into museum, find a way to break into cameras. There are smokes that you can throw from like outside B main that will cover either or. But on pistol, that's kind of an expensive ask, especially with already 2 Tech 9s. Thankfully, though, they were able to commit to a play, not waste too much time at the doors, bulldoze through, and with the power of those Tech 9s, as you mentioned, just completely mow down everyone in heaven.
I think when it comes to the contender tier and prospect tier, we have a similar plan now to go for mid fight. But only when it comes to the challenger and elite tier do we see that that commitment for that play coming in here. As we see Cantor taking out a player of their own, CB with a great trade.
Yeah, and I think a huge part of it again is I'm going to keep bringing this up, but do you recognize a single DE in this game? I think Ethan, but everyone else is someone who's been playing this game for a while, and I think when you have people like, oh hey, like Cantor, an assassin, like, oh, you know these folks or whatever, you can just say, hey, you guys want to just go B? I think there's just like an intrinsic understanding behind that.
Definitely. And Halcyon does have a have a Galil going for a save here, but uh, just standard save around here. I was looking into some tech issues, so I didn't really quite catch all the info that was given, but I can assure you it was probably very good. Oh, you hear the footsteps here, and they're just ready for it. Yeah. Yep. So now 7-7 here, and heading into this round now. It is another full buy versus full buy. No ops coming out for either side though. So I'm interested to see how they're going to play this. A little bit minimal utility for the CT side here, but it's nothing that they can't work with. Now they just have to be with it. They're just going just some spam through smoke here. It's a very solid default overall, right? They're baiting out some utility. They're trying to poke and puff for some map control, but Ethan cure, I believe, and that's UB also taking a great entry coming in here. Good smoke off of the obelisks on that B side here. An assassin working their way towards out on A. Going for a very late flank, and Ethan cut off guard to the smoke and manifest with a nice double kill. And Rondo picking up a third. Halcyon picking up assassin on that very late lurk. Now left of the king picks up the first on the manifest and cannot take out Rondo. And the tactical timeout used for team away and team home. Now that is something we did not mention here for the combines. We do have tactical timeouts just as just as they do in the professional scene of CS:GO and CS2. Ugh. And it's just a way for teams to take a 30-second timeout to just go over, a strategy, a plan, maybe get some info that they can't give in the freeze time. And it's a good way to reset, and a good team doesn't just utilize a timeout to see what's wrong, but just a way to calm down the troops, make sure that they're all cool, calm, and collected, so that they can make a perfect play, or just to make sure that they're not overhyping. And they actually take a double timeout. So I'm not sure if it's a bit of a tech issue or if it's this strategy just needs some time to just work it out there. But who knows?
You've never heard of the double tack fabled bathroom break, Nexus? Never called it?
Nope.
Oh, oh, no,
Actually,
that's
actually, in a few face-up pugs I have been
gotcha.
saying tactical piss.
You know things are dire if they call a third, but it looks like whatever issues were resolved um, seem to have been fixed with both timeouts. But yeah, that's something I think a lot of new draft eligible players don't know is that you can call time. Especially for something a game filled more with Ds or whatever. It's a little bit more chaotic, a little bit maybe competing voices in a call or whatever. A timeout's a good resource to really slow it down and get everyone on the same page so that you can have the best chance of success here. I think Team Away taking those timeouts on a semi-eco here, or basically a full eco almost, just to know, hey, what's our
Farming up some kills here as Kira picks up a nice double of their own. XM raining. Flame and Ethan taking out the first onto Kira there. Swing down for the CT side. Now bait Jiggle peeking with grinded manifest with a great flash there. Just fully flashbang dance onto Ethan there. Does give them a slight lead heading into further into the game here, but hopefully Team Away now have enough money to buy rifles and hopefully show us some good defaults. We do see an up on the Cure though. So now this is interesting.
Yeah, Kier's a known operator in the challenger scene. Had a couple of disgusting flips in the finals against ACA on Ancient. Team Away is not in the best economic state though. There's a Galil on Cantor and missing smokes and only one smoke, one molly across the entire team. So whatever they do, they take. It needs to come fast.
Really made and manifest down to 3 HP. Rondo now has to be aware of where they're standing so that they can just molly there. Nice flashbang. Rondo is fully punished. James Coda just out. They have for some fights. Now they're going for these aggressive fights. Assassin does pick up House here on towards the entrance of Palace. And this is going for the reroute. Inside is completely locked open and Cancer doesn't seem to fully know that. Manifest with a nice angle, but Ethan, oh, a great clear. They're 25 and 11. They're leading the charge here from Team Away. They're going absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I think when you take mid on this map, there's again, as always, two ways to do it: slow and fast. And I think what Rundle thought was going to happen was important situation as CVB gets cleaned up here. Here's also a bad spot. When you come mid, you can really slow down right in front of the gap to drop. I think what Rundle thought was going to happen is that they were just going to blaze right through again, and his 30-round M4 would be able to clean up multiple kills. But instead, he got mollied out twice in that cubby outside of the doors and blinded as well before he was finally cleaned up. So that was really the catalyst that got Team Away through into mid and then right in onto A immediately afterwards with that tempo.
And like I said before, high-level teams always know that it's not just about shooting the enemy team better. It's also about the mental game, knowing, read on the opponent there. And sometimes you can clear an angle, doesn't mean that it's clear. Then you can just reposition it's all about that. It's all about pressing your game sense there. So reducing stamina. Shouldn't be the case, but great shots there. But yeah, Team Away just steamrolling these pistols over. Only losing James Coda, but it's a T-side economy, so nothing lost. Nothing too much has been lost.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Home is gonna take up a buy here, even though Kira is only at 3,300 because of the op purchase 2 rounds prior, but looks like they're gonna make it work. Huge pivot round for the CTs here. Pretty much everyone is on 2 digits for their money.
Jeez, okay. 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like $600 almost, maybe.
Moneybag secure at 1,200. Watch out.
Assassin poking and prodding here on this A main smoke, but nothing to be seen in Halcyon on the great angle. Not to be seen from anyone just trying to peek, but a nice off angle if they were to rush through that smoke. Is left out towards middle. A heavy A lean here. Halcyon does have the round winning position if they don't clear him out, but there is a molly running back. Cantor just falling out there. The molly's not going to be used if Halcyon takes his perfect peek onto Assassin. Can definitely get an opening kill here. I believe Assassin might be hidden from the wall. still have a molly here on Ethan, and they have to go now. A minute left here. Halcyon has one. He took the first. He took the second, but he's fully blended. Doesn't know he's smoke. He's taken out. Then Ethan. Ethan's an animal. And baits the shot, baits the bomb point, and is taken out to Team Home. Very close on the lead.
Hulk had incredible patience there, but I think the reason why he wasn't peeking off of that angle, Nexus, is because there was no slowdown utility remaining on the CTs. When you go for a desperate buy like that, usually the first thing to go are smokes and mollies, because they cost the most money, obviously. And with no smokes, no mollies, if Hulk died there, that would have been open season on that A bomb site. So great patience from him, but still, I think regardless of that, he wouldn't have been pushing that A main peak in the first place. Works out for him perfectly, mind you, but now the CTs are able to buy back here. Much more utility. Expect to get up.
Manifest. Assassin with that BDHG cure. Attacking the molly, but a great shot onto Ethan. 30 frags within regulation, and this isn't CS:GO regulation. This is CS2. That's well. So Ethan just going absolutely ham.
Raid boss Ethan is down. Can the T's find a way back? Do you think this door gets checked?
Oh, James Cotto with the great control of the spray there. Shot. I think it doesn't get it. Spidey with a good trade. It's now a 2v3, still in favor of Team Home. Spidey has the bomb, and they're just booking towards the A site. They're all grouped up in the middle here. They have to go fast. And now they're spreading up. Excuse me. Halcyon making some pressure. Goes forward, and oh, Cancer, great shot. Great headshot, but the opposite. Cam lands a nice tag. Lands the first shot. Spidey onto Cure. Now it's a 1v1. Bomb point is down. Jinx. CSU, you owe me a kiss on the lips. And now, Spidey, in an aggressive angle. It's going to go to the left. He lands the headshot. A good clutch by Spidey. And a good overall reaching from both them and Cantor.
Yeah, some great aggressive play there. Cure gets in front of the molly. How caught off guard by people pushing way ahead of him on A main. And those are the kinds of things where when you have a lot of utility, you have a lot of teammates behind you, you feel emboldened to make those kinds of plays. I think here, now that the CTs are on another eco, do you buy on the next round here, Nexus? Because you would be at 1900.
Giving them essentially 2-3 rounds, right? So you want to play for getting the guns out and be able to fight for a round better. I think going for a save here is the most optimal play.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, the purchases of armors across the board, but I mean, look at Cure. Purely a rifle? Nope. That goes back to old reliable in the XM and MP9. I wonder if they're going to get aggressive in mid or canals here with the inferior weaponry. It feels like trying to take a traditional, like a site execute, or like trying to hold a traditional, flood or whatever is not going to work out well for Team.
They just have so much inferiority here, so they have to be good. But Halcyon, or just Halcyon with a nice double. Pick it up. That's a rifle doing some of the great work there, and they do pick up an AK for their hands, and they're able to drop over that rifle over to someone else if they so please. But they're just falling off. They're now playing back from normal sites.
Yeah, so they got bold. They didn't really overload that A side of the map, but they still took a P aggressive on stairs, and they were flying too. That's the kind of aggression you need to get in front of this round to make it disadvantageous for the T side.
And Assassin making sure that there is no one left in these little ratty angles there. It does clear it out for their teammates to come to the roof. James Cody spots the shoulder and doesn't the shot, excuse me. Knowing that it wouldn't have done anything, but does send out a shot to let them know that he is there, that their presence is in middle, and just runs away. So once again, the mental battle, playing with the sound, playing with the enemy team's head, trying to play the mental game, and it's just like chess. And Spidey with the bomb here, Cure has to make a headshot, And Spidey comes out on top there, and he's going fast onto that. CVP patience doesn't pick up a second, but it would have been great. But Rondo very fast on this E-box push, but doesn't go any further, hoping and waiting for someone to go into the angle. And James Coda is now spotted. Let's think. Now, smoke out right behind the assassin is in palace. Spots two. Assassin gets smoke there, and James Coda with a great shot onto Rondo there. It's now 12-10, and it's match point for Team Away, and Team Home's economy is not looking good. They have to go for a force buy here.
Great job pulling out not only the plant, but a round win in what was essentially a 3v5. It does make you think a little bit whether or not Team Home should have been aggressive on their rotates or told their beast anchor players to like play a little bit more conservative, knowing that they had numbers in their favor, but also again poor weaponry. A lot of what ifs there, and now it's match point for Manifest on a pistol.
Your weapons, you always want to play these close range angles. It just means instantaneous headshot can just really kill there, but there's not a lot of utility left for them to fight for any sort of map control or even fight for the site. They just have to rely on their injuries here. And Kira baiting out that shot with the and doesn't get the trade back on the assassin. Assassin's now pushing forward here. Rondo with the scout tags him up and just falls off here. Assassin's very low HP. Rondo just waiting for the cross here.
Despite the poor economy, there's 2 players, so they can play this slower than most.
Yeah, again, and Manifest onto Ethan. Oh, they're body touching.
Kiss cam.
Oh, they recognized that. They felt something. Now it's left up to Housedown, who makes a step through, and James Coda just goes absolutely crazy in that last round. We took that off, and you know it's a victory for Team Away. Back on Anubis, and it's I don't know. It just goes to show that the level of gameplay from these elite players is just so high.
I think you can see it given that Team Away won this game off of 2 disadvantageous bomb plant holds. A 3v5 on the round prior and a 3v4 on this one. It's like they're not breaking a sweat. Everyone's got an angle. People are calling out exactly what they're holding, and it's like work as these CTs file in to try and get into the site to defuse. You know, a little bit of luck there in the Palace and Brick's position when Assassin and CVB were just able to waltz right past each other. But again, you know, when you trust your team, you know the people you're playing with. You know, you just trust them to hold your angles, and that fell into place perfectly for the T's 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need when it comes to winning a Counter Strike round. Just a little bit of luck and a little bit of intuition there. But I really just want to highlight Ethan there, 30-15 within regulation of a CS2 game. MR12 just goes to show you that this person might be moving up to Premier. But with that being said, we're gonna hopefully head into our last game and of the night at least, and stick around because Combines will still be playing the entire night. The queue stops when no players are queuing, and other than that, we'll see you guys soon. right, guys, welcome back to the final game of the night here. Here we are on the map of Ancient here in Contender. Now, on Team Home, we have Felix, Curve, Sainted, Hash, and Parish. And on Team Away, we have Zychik, Legacy, Lines, Am, and Bix. So, some good names here, some notable names, and some new names here. There's a lot of DEs that I don't recognize, but hopefully, it's a good introduction here onto CSC. I'm, of course, Lexus, joined by Starly, which is my co-caster, and we're heading straight into the round here. Saints are left in a 1v2 against Lines and Am. Just playing, biding this time, just waiting for someone to overextend here in Donut, and no one's going for it. Sainted doesn't have any armor or a kit, so it's looking like they're just going to be falling off here.
Yeah, saving the rifle here is smart, and like you mentioned, no kit, no armor, and I don't think he's going to expect the second player stacked up in Donut like that. And so he can drop this rifle over to Hash, who's at 1950, maintain the economy here. I'd like to shout out the CSC gods for not making the capital terrorists win. Deeply appreciated for that. As we get on here into Ancient.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno has seen. Everyone likes to say it's a glow up. I think it looked better just the way it was before. But that's just me. My little cringy lineups don't work anymore. I don't recognize the map. It's like not seeing your friend, over summer vacation and then coming back 10 times taller and just everyone's like, "You're so beautiful," and you just think no. But maybe I'm projecting. Maybe that would be. You never know. But side chick, you and Legacy. Lyrics there. As Bix does take out Paris looking for some kills. Does pick up the trade and is locking down this B side. Lead has been lost, and so has Donut. They're now rotating towards Red and they're just Team Away can just scale through Donut here. And it's looking like that's exactly what they're doing. Curve, great HP, spotted out and tagged through Am. Great flash and a great frag overall. Bix now going aggressive here, trying to maintain this control. Hopefully he doesn't over-aggress here as Hash is going to be peeking in. There's Bix with a good clear, but Hash takes a step back just slightly before the frame before, which lands him that kill. Now Parish coming in through Donut. They cleared it out. Lines is holding for great shot by Parish. Good clean headshot. It's now a 2v2. Side chick is boosted up on. He boost. And first kill has go. Oh, damn! The shoulder peek.
Yeah, and the fast adjust. And the fast adjust to immediately swing over and get the guy on CT. I think that was a really smart round from the T's because you kind of saw Curve and CT Spawn kind of get pulled to a part of the map he didn't want to go to. I don't think he really wanted to leave A side empty, but on and off and trying to hold against the onslaught of T's that theoretically could have come. You saw him try to pick up Donut after those two fast kills in cave and mid. It allowed the T's to get a free bomb plant. A good effort though from the CTs in terms of trying to get back into the to defuse.
Doesn't pick up the kill. That is why you never use the CC. And Curve picking up all this space towards the enemy, walking away. Have to start moving forward in from middle. Great headshot onto Parish. Doesn't reload. Is low on HP and Curve. A lot of action going out towards middle here as Curve and Sainted are now left alive. It's a 2v3 and they're both separated, make it a 1v3. And Curve is very far away from where this bomb is going.
Yeah, one thing I will say, and this is absolutely not on Curve's mind, in fact, it's on nobody on his team's mind. I'm not the biggest fan of committing to flanks or kind of niche cheeky plays on an eco, because now what you've done is you reminded the T's that, hey, you should really put someone up on A main, make sure nobody comes through and sneaks and flanks you into elbow like that. Curve had an opportunity there, helped out in mid, got a couple of trade kills, but is that worth it? The rest of the constantly reminding yourself, hey, we need to watch our flanks, we need to cover, ramp if we're not there, we need to cover A main if we're not there. Not the biggest fan of showing your hand basically like that on a round you're probably not going to win.
It also just comes down to whether you have say it again, whether you have big balls. Maybe you are that confident in that ego shot of yours, as me and my little ragtag group of friends like to call her the Weagle. formerly, we call it the Weagle, in honor of our friend Whale, who is just an absolute beast with the Deagle when it matters least, right? On an eco round, on he doesn't need to land the craziest section. But Saint getting aggressive here towards middle with Hash coming in to support right there. They have full mid control, but side chick on the Paris there. Good shot. And so Herux with a good trade, Lines with another kill back onto Hash. That's mid control. Slightly weakened, and Sainton is now just falling back towards Donut there. And now they have to pick up bomb site. They have one in cave and one walking towards A main, but the bomb is going towards B, and there's only one player here. They might guess correctly, and they're pushing forward into ramp. Sword Heroics can hear the smoke coming out here. And he's waiting for the fights. Curve is now rotating up through. This is the bomb. Sword Heroics has to come through, and he does. That low HP on Lines does not pay well here. And that's the bomb. 50 seconds left on the clock. They're saying they're taking out Bix. Now left up to Legacy, who is still stuck in cave and is just waiting to make their move. Just ring out here, but this angle is being held. Walk into it, but no! Curve. A little bit too shallow. And now there's no Legacy just runs towards ramp and doesn't know where the other is. Does have 20 seconds left. The bomb is still not in his possession. He has to go for this now. Smokes off the bomb and smokes himself off from the angle. Hopefully going for something else, but picks up the count. Sword Heroics there. Legacy. Oh, Sainted playing through the smoke perfectly, knowing Legacy has to push past the smoke, has to be gray screen to pick up that bomb and play it to perfection.
Heroics really lived up to his name there, saved the round by pushing up on ramp, and was also cognizant of the space he gave on cave. Didn't get aggressive trying to fill back into the site or whatever, didn't get aggressive looking for that second kill, just held the bomb like he should have. I will say this, the previous round on the eco, the CT's double naded elbow, and Sainted was able to pick up the opening kill of the round through that elbow molly because no T was daring to challenge him on that angle because of it. So you can see these rounds kind of build from the round 5 now they've invested 4 HE on elbow.
These kills are just going back and forth. So they're two can't hold off any longer. There are too many bodies coming at him. And now, bomb plant is going down here. It is a light investment here. Mac 10's the bomb plant down. So the trades are just coming in back and forth, just one-on-one. And I think the T side comes out winning. Killing all the players, damaging the economy even more. And now it's up to Hash, who has a clutch. This was just Mac 10's and the standard B rush. And the Hash is unable to distinguish between where he should peek and get split, and it's just a done deal for Team Away.
Yeah, great call. I always love me a good B rush on Ancient, but I think even more so just in that mid round, knowing that you have worse guns and taking the aggression to Team Home on that CT side, or sorry, in CT spawn, able to trade a kill, and more importantly, Legacy was able to find the kill onto Curve, which meant that Hash was isolated by himself, and CT's not really playing for trades, splitting up, trying to retake.
Now, once again, they're still low on funds. They have to go for a deagle buy here. Curve going for the almost hits his head on the headboard. Legacy gets that kill. Now they're just accelerating off of that first frag. Nice peek. Gets tagged on very low. They have this A-bomb. They are just absolutely running away with this first half here.
Yeah, definitely. That's a textbook A take. You see Donut still smoked, you see CT still smoked. But the important thing is that when you smoke those two entrances off, you need to get aggressive in the remaining points of Temple. And Bix was more than happy to oblige with that, flooded in, got the pivotal kill there onto Heroics, I believe. Sometimes when you take this A bomb site, they might clump up an A main. That just makes the jobs too easy for the CTs on the retake, especially if they have utility. In this case, obviously they don't on this eco, but it's still good fundamentals. It shows that Team Away has a good grasp of the map here.
Exactly, and with the recent changes back done to Ancient, you would assume it's a little bit more CT sided now, more than it was on TS Sharp. But Team Away have found the way to just keep it going, keep it moving forward.
Definitely. And I wonder if Team Home is going to change the holds because they've been getting beat on sites, but not they're still committing a lot of nades here. 2 mollies, 2 HEs right into elbow. Very little damage on the teaser. Zycho took that on ramp.
He did, and ooh, Hash had to win out that duel against Bix here. And Am is further Sainted, not ready for it with a great headshot. And that's middle once again taken down. You were praising them for them. They just got absolutely shut down there once again. And Curve picking up the pieces here, and Tribute off the shoulder, and a good shot by Curve. Falling back here.
Parrish is behind Legacy on Cage. Trying to check it? No, he's not.
Good pick up there as Sword Heroics does pick up Bix as well. That's one of the low HP players there. Lions is waiting for Sword Heroics to fall back here. And Sword Heroics does manage to make his way back towards that B side as Sidekick is now taken out in middle. This was a done deal for Team Away, and Team Home have just managed to bring it back.
Yeah, Parrish makes a hero play there by getting aggressive on ramp, expecting all of the aggression to come through mid and not expecting Team Away to leave someone to watch their flanks. And Parrish comes up huge along with kind of a bottling of Team Away. You know, they got that control of mid, they got that control of red, but they didn't feel confident to go into Donut. And I think that was because they bunched too many of their players into mid. That's a different story if you have a guy or two in A main going to split that A bomb site with you. Okay, if you have a guy or two at B doors watching that flank to prevent Parrish from getting up, he can also support you by getting up the ramp.
It's just seen as not ideal. It's such an enclosed space, and there's so many angles that you can. It just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Look at how bunched the T side is again here.
And it's just an all-out brawl here. Going for another kill. 1v2. Nice readjustment onto Sainted there. And now he heard the footstep. You can hear the gun switching, and he's looking into the B side. Oh, but so Heroics with a great alternative peek back. And Bix almost had it running away towards that B side, but it just wasn't meant to be. Now it's 8-4 in favor of Team Away as we swap into the second half.
Yeah, I think Team Home's definitely going to want a pistol here to really get this going on in terms of a comeback. Credit to Team Away for that. I thought the 4 ramp stack was a death sentence after their cave player was picked off early in the round, but they found a way to almost make that work. If Bix was able to tuck around the corner a little bit more, or if Heroic was a little slower, you know, that's a 1v1 with bomb down. You have no clue where he is. I like Heroic's chances in that.
Yeah, definitely, but not to take away from Bix. Bix has just been popping off here, 14-8, doing such a a good job here. And Bix is one of the names that I recognize, who I believe is a DE now, but they were PFA last season, and they were definitely one of the more sought out PFAs when it came to getting substitute players. But yeah, a good push run here. Smoke and 2 flashes onto Sainted here. 2 flashes and an HE on side check, but oh, the instinct push onto Lines and Legacy. Lines with the first kill. Going for the second, he does. And for the third, maybe does not get the play the flashes. Has a party killing, but Bix with a trade. ACT side for Sword Heroic and Sainted picking up 2 kills of their own. Now left up to Bix, who cannot clutch up in this round. And that's a pistol for Team Home.
Respect to Team Home, who just got beat by a B rush and decided to call it themselves. If it beats you, it's got to work for you too, right? I think you saw right there at the start of the round why so many people now in CS2 prefer the Glock versus the USPS. It felt like the USPS was the king of pistols and go. That's not the case here in 2. 2 instant gushes right off the bat, made for 2 easy kills. Mines had a heroic last stand there, tucked in that cubby, but just a little short for Team Away.
I went for a reverse A main push here. Now they are stacked up here outside of A. But a good smoke to deter that. Parrish is running. Just well outside the A main. Too good. Cave does manage to hold things down, but that could have definitely gone a little bit crazy.
Yeah, luckily for Team Home, the player who invested the most money in terms of their guns and Heroics and Curves don't die. So I think they'll be okay here on the bonus. It remains to be seen here on a bonus on a map. It's kind of smaller compared to Anubis on Ancient, whether or not they're going to decide to play fast tempo here. A fast cave play, a fast B split. Are they going to tank the nades that might come here on elbow? That elbow smoke would do a ton to dissuade them from that fast.
We saw a little bit of a nerdy smoke there from Big. Instant elbow smoke there for middle. We have Shelf control that has been lost here, and we're smoking off maybe a little bit too early there for elbow. Not wanting to fight just yet, and they have so much mid control here. They also lost cave control, so one piece of map control taken away as Curve doesn't take out Biggs with a clean headshot, but does get dinked in the process. With this cave control, they can definitely get out on this B side here, but Legacy and picks up 2 of their own to equal. Not expecting third in Sword Heroics, who gets the trade.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not aware that his name was exposed.
And Sainted right with the kill onto Zychik. Now Lines has to pick it up. A 1-3. Going for the loud rotate, but there is Line unable to tame the spray, and Team Home up running away with it. Once again, they're picking it up. Looks like T side is the side to be when it comes to Ancient, at least for this Combine game.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the 47-round Gigabaner between ACA and UPS for Challenger Finals went, I think, 18 straight rounds without a T-side victory. Most importantly there, though, however, both teams were playing for their lives in a grand final and were too scared to get aggressive. I don't think these Combine teams have that same fear. You saw the aggression fast into cave. The CTs were able to take control of mid, but what did they get out of it? They weren't able to get much out of it. The T's correctly recognized that they had seeded that space and even invested a Molotov onto Shelf in order to ensure that the CTs couldn't make anything of that space. Okay. And because of that, sorry. And because of that Molly, you saw that space gain from the CTs kind of just fade away. There was a Molly to clear out the Cubby. Am went all the way down to, I think, 15 HP off of the Molotov, which meant that he was easy pickings by the time he retreated into Donut for Parrish.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, like you said, they had all that map control, but nothing to do with it. They had just middle and nothing more. And yes, you as much as that mid control is important, you have to be able to move around it. And like you mentioned a few rounds ago, that sometimes an A main or an A split, excuse me, needs that one lurking A main player to clear out Donut with the mid players, and it worked out just that way as Parrish got taken out there. Now a heavy mid pressure. Parrish here's 2 HGs. Doesn't go for 05, but is waiting for any aggressive players to come through.
Just look at the way home setup versus the way away setup. Sainted is here on a lurk. Take
by Legacy, but Parrish and Curve take out 2 players here as Lines picks one up. A good trade, but there's nothing to show for it. Onto Legacy, maybe they go for a save here, and it's looking likely to just save that AK. But he was spotted, and Parrish wants to take this AK away from them, knowing that it's very crucial. But a great headshot from Legacy. And Bix now going for some exit frags, just maybe hoping to do something, and doesn't get a frag to show for it. But now Legacy is just saving, and it's another round for Team Home.
Yeah, this save might not be so sure because I think the T's are going to chase after him, partly because they don't want him to save this gun, but also don't forget, Nexus, the bomb radius on Ancient is about as wide as Jupiter is. Heroics here is not safe where he is right now. Obviously, he's going to keep filling into spawn. They're playing it slow. I think they could have chased on their current economy to really... That's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Hesh just take 55 points of damage, right? I mean...
For a second, I thought you were going to say that, the bomb radius is just as wide as my dump truck, but,
Oh, whoa.
That was where my mind was going. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know that I'm built like a pixel bomb? But, yeah, it was still like a good save overall, though. And the AK for Legacy is a very powerful gun, especially for that CT side. Maybe not as powerful as the Krieg back, what was it, 2019? The Krieg meta was huge. Well, Parrish doesn't take the nades, but does take some damage, making that M4A4 still a one-tap headshot. Now Line Ichi swings out. Spot 1 though, and he's just gonna smoke off runes. This is some good map control here from Team Away. Efficient from Sainted. The bomb is on A. Zychik has a lot of work to do here, and just has to come up huge here. The front sight, they're not ready for it. They don't know that Zychik is here. Ash blinded with the bomb. Zychik has such a good hiding smoke.
I don't think Donut's smoking Nexus. This is the problem. They're getting hit.
are. And Sword Horrocks is just hiding in the smoke where it's actually knocking out. And the smoke dissipates. And Sword Horrocks almost losing that gunfight there. Lines. There's some wide swing there. Legacy now. They know where two players are. Parrish missing two shots there. Maybe just shooting off to bait some peaks. Another cat lands a leg but doesn't land the frag. Nice headshot from Legacy. That AK doing in work. And Sword Heroics and Sainted are playing a little bit harder. They have to play here. And Legacy switches to his pistol. Maybe going for a save, but wasn't ready for Sword Heroics to be that close up. And Team Home have won 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row.
I think Team Away got themselves into a little bit of a panic for no good reason when they saw that all 10 members on the server were still alive and the bomb went down. You know, I think if they had waited that donut smoke out a little bit longer or let the donut player push up to clear Sword Heroics and that cubby a little bit more, I don't think he would have gotten that pivotal kill on his CT.
Not, but it's just a matter of just how you want to play the round. And Parrish on a timing check doesn't shoot, but almost lands the timing. And Zaychik getting aggressive aiming. Now this is one that you were talking about. You don't want to show your hand off too early on an equable. Parrish is ready for it. Zaychik clearing that close right angle is caught off guard with the Parrish peak. And now Biggs shoulder might not have been spotted yet. Sainted doesn't there, but that is Am taken out here. Biggs is still far behind with that MP9. Spots went out but cannot control the MP9 spray. Going for a right flash. Up on this B side. All left to Bix, and they know where he is. Towards shelf, just an MP9 and a dream. Definitely still possible, but not after that HE damage. Yep, he's just falling off and just running away.
I wonder if Team Away has kind of gotten shafted by the drafting process. I'm not saying the matchmaker's biased, but I'm gonna call out fellow Angry Pirate Sainted, who is the IGL for their Contender team. Just look at the way he spreads the map versus what we saw originally on Team Away's T side. Parrish is there covering the A main flank, and on rounds where Sainted wants his team to be heavy towards A, he sits at the doors position preventing that ramp push down. That's not the level of flank control you saw from Team Away here, and it's paid off for them twice now from Team Home.
Parrish saw something, but just like you mentioned, yeah, I had the pleasure of playing with them for a little bit, and they're such a very vocal, very very lead heavy player, and unable to get that up there. But I agree, yeah, Sainted just has someone who is just that person who, when they want something of the map, they're not afraid to be the one to do the dirty work and be put in that situation. And side note, they're 11-11-11. Can we just 11-11-11? Okay. But it's because that they're putting themselves in positions so that their team can succeed, and that's what you want in an in-game leader. Now, unfortunately, Sainted is signed to AP, but that doesn't mean that you can talk them and lure them into a new contract. Please don't do that. It's illegal. We have rules against that. We have rules against that. But yeah, just Sainted is just showing their worth here, and maybe find another hidden gem just like Sainted when it comes to these combines.
I'd like to remind my playcaster that I'm
So you want to join my friend here?
Cool. Right after the he clutches this in cave.
I forgot we're on stream. I'll send you a DM later. Yeah, like I am just scout here. Oh, great! Oh, great! From Hash. Here and another one. He lands attack, but he lands. Think onto Sainted. Legacy could do this. They have to go fast now. This has to come within these next seconds. The timing, the counter strike timing does not favor Legacy, and that's Team Home, 11-8. They're going flawless this entire half.
And again, I want to prop my boy up, Sainted. I think when you IGL and Combines, we talked so much about conflicting personalities, differing levels of experience. When you have an established player like Sainted come in and fill, arguably one of the biggest holes in this Combine experience, right? In a Pug experience, you have a dedicated IGL. I think it's a huge boon. And when your shooters are as hot as Team Homes have been on the team side, it's easy.
Unfortunate molly there by Legacy, but I know exactly what that molly is for. And it's a molly off lane. It's to be able to give yourself that ability to fight towards lane. And unfortunate bounce from that smoke there. I always tell people the the way to know if an IGL is good is not by how they are when they win, but how they are when they lose. And Sainted being able to recover his team to go on this flawless, round win streak is just testament of a great IGL. This post up now does take out curve. Waiting for another. That AT does some good damage. Massive kill. That's a bit. There's the win right here. And on one to play. Runs out of bullets. Tosses a smoke. Going for the reload, but the smoke does not dissipate in his favor here. Sainted behind the CT smoke. Going for this lurk play. And is going for the knife.
Uh-oh.
This is such a big brain, just that's what you see when it comes to these IGL. Someone like Sainted who is one to try to get into your head, and the knife. Right headshot. Going for another. Knows that there's no time for it. For the defuse and is just falling off. Calling it there. Hopefully we can see some more aggressive fights here into this next and almost maybe
Terrorists win.
Yeah, I think Team Away tried to change the setup there. I think that was the first time we really saw two players on the A bomb site before the bomb even got planted. It's just hard to do when you're getting split through Donut and A main like that. Yes, Bix was able to get one in A main, immediately traded out by a perfect nade, and it's just hard to play against this kind of stuff. When you've lost control of mid and you're scared to make a play on shelf or back through red again, you're kind of just walking into numbers disadvantages here on the CT side, and unfortunately, there hasn't been a superstar moment in 3 or 4 games to really block the
Parrish
what
is
a-
onto Am there. An aggressive fight here, but Curve is playing ring around. Ready for his IGL. Doesn't pick up a second, but Legacy onto Sainted here. The bomb site is now lost, but there is a player on Donut here. They have to be careful. Bix is an unknown factor here. They spotted one, but Curve. Great instantaneous headshot. Now it's left up to Lines with the P90 and Legacy with the AK-47. They have to go for the retake. They cannot save.
Yeah, and just look at the CT's positions when the bomb went down. Look at how far they were, from the bomb site. And they're approaching here separate again. There's no possibility of a trade. And like that, just instantaneously, 2 kills fall. That's their team.
And that was a perfect way to end off this Combines night. Just a flawless victory on that second half from Team Home. It's a nice warm welcome for both Heroic and Hash to enter into Combines. But other than that, if there's anything else you'd like to say, Starly?
No, I think we got a real good taste of what combines can be,
Yeah.
across the next 2 weeks. This is the level of Counter-Strike you expect to see. I think there are some similarities to what you see in Pugs or whatever, but I hope that we've been able to point out today or tonight really some of the differences, some of the levels you should expect even in combines and hopefully to understand as we go into the regular season that it's going to go up another tier, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, guys, be sure to follow us on Twitter at CS Confederation to keep up with, hopefully our now more active Twitter presence. We are looking to add some more people in our media committee to help manage that. But also check out our website, csconfederation.com, where you can see forum posts, different blogs that have been posted, and also see the stats of each player's coming into this next season. And I know we have some talks within media committee to do some very nice blogging. So just stay in tune for that. You can also look at your favorite players. I believe you can search by name. But don't call me on that. I'm not on the tech team. You can also join the server, discord.gg/CSC, if you haven't already, to, maybe not sign up, but maybe see what the community is like. But with that being said, I have been Nexus, joined by Starly, observed and produced by Freeman, and we'll catch you guys for the next Combine stream, so stay tuned.